Oh, behave.
myself.
Tonight, we bring you this week's Flight Sim news, chat about Flight Sim 2024, the Airbus H130, an AW139 and X-plane, Vilnius Airport, eco sounds, and some new SimEffects stuff for an A320. Hello? Hello. Everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to...
Jesus.
The middle of the week, the halftime show, the hump day. It's time for the news. And you're very welcome along tonight. It was busy to start with, and now it got busier. Tonight, we bring you up to date with all this week's Flight Sim news for our beloved hobby. And we're going to be chatting about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We saw a brand new trailer release, and we're going to go through the trailers in detail to see, well, what are they showing? What are they not showing, yet they're showing, if you know what I mean? Plus, we're going to recap over some of the wish list that our own community put together some time ago, and I hit the channel just to see, is the wish list the same? Or, you know, more or less? Do you know what I mean? We're also going to be checking out this helicopter here to the side of me, not that side. There's a helicopter over this side, and it is that of Cowan Sim. It's the Airbus H130, and it is situated in a beautiful scenery by Simulations. It's that of Vilnius, and we're going to be checking that one out as well. Not only that, we're checking out SoFly's Eco Sounds. I downloaded this the other day, couldn't really get it working. I now have it working, and well, we're going to have a listen and see what you guys think. Then, off the top shelf, because Gibbo said, Murphy, eat it, we're going to have a live demonstration of an upcoming add-on for SimEffects. It's a new immersion package for the Airbus A320. Haven't touched it, haven't even, did nothing. I just bought it, and now I'm going to play with it. So we'll do that as well. Then a little bit later on, well, we ramble over to X-Plane, and we're going to be checking out the newest release from X-Rotors, that of the AW139. And that's going to be situated in Orbex's True Earth UK South, an add-on that gives you all the satellites, the terrain, the buildings, the trees, even the birds. And that's all over in X-Plane a little bit later on. So it's flat out now, right? So the only way to get through the entire schedule tonight is speak fairly fast and try not to move abruptly. The good news is the back is getting better, right? Not 100%, nowhere near 100%, but better. And the secret is don't take the Valium. No, it's not worth it. I didn't take Valium, and now I'm actually all right-ish today. I'm not as dopey, right? I'm not as dopey, right? But anyway, you're all very welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Hope the week is treating you well. And well, sure, listen, we'll go through this here now. Like a man announcing at horse racing. Airlock Doc is in the house. Good to see you. Super Typhon has rambled in. Welcome aboard, man. Willow How Much is here. Got friends. Welcome aboard, my guys. Hope all is well. Spitfire RAF 100 is in the chat. Welcome in. Gaseous Maximus, good day to you. Viper Strike is here. Stick Figure, good to see you, man. Dibby G. Hello, Dibby G. Vacuum is in the house. P.S. Mirandai. Hello there. Good to see you, man. Old Veteran 965 says, evening all. It's going to be busy with multitasking, studying, and doing some chores as I listen in and watch the shenanigans. Welcome in. Hope you're well. Care 85 is here. 98 Vulcan, good to see you. Sun Jammer's in the house. Fierce Wolf looking fierce. And Wolfie, you're very welcome in. Balbro is in the house. He says, how are you, Murph in chat? I just watched back the D-Day stream. One word. Epic, he says. It gave me shivers. As I was not able to join, AJH, I'll have to now fly it one of these days for sure. It was a lot of fun, dude. And the scenery we got from Jepson, absolutely incredible. It was stunning, absolutely stunning. But you're very welcome in. Great to see you. Liptorius, welcome aboard. Jandres has resubscribed with Prime 33 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. I hope you're well, man. Now, let me see. We're catching up. Eamon is here. Looking forward to the chat, he says, about Flight Sim 2024. Yes, as am I. Now, let me see. Big Bone Baggins, good evening. Tarnish Mossman is in the chat. Razor Cab, good evening. Mick Ham is here. Good to see you, man. Sunjammer says 7 days to go. 7 days to go. It'll all be happening then, lads. Vegas, baby. Now, we're over here. Baldric de Dong, good to see you. Sidious, welcome in. Toto is in the house. Cranking up the Toto. Right, we're over here. Hemmingbird. Unfortunately, oh Jesus. Muse rode Murph the mare off a cliff in Red Dead Redemption 2 earlier. Jesus. Thankfully, it's in a stable condition. There really was nae need to call his horse Murph, was there? Like, imagine. So Muse fan has a horse in Red Dead Redemption 2. Hey, Dutch. And he called it Two-Tone Murphy. Why would you do? Like, what? Right. It's odd. Strange, you know, kind of flattering as well, but let's not get into that. But yeah, Jesus, right? Hope Two-Tone Murphy's all right. The horse, right? Moving on, Mr. Skoo is here. Good to see you, man. Wombat 49, greetings all. Let's buy something. Yes, that's the spirit, Wombat. Night Zep is here. He says, what can you do on a rainy night in a caravan? have a glass of wine, and watch Murph News. Brilliant! We need that on a t-shirt with a picture of a caravan. That's fantastic, tonight's ep. I hope you're enjoying the caravan, and more importantly, I hope you're enjoying the holidays. SK Sun is here. It's good to see you, man. Now, we're over here. Look, Gibbo Ireland's in the chat. How are you? I need to install it, but we'll show it off in a bit, right? It'll be grand. Now, we're over here. Shuffle Shoes, Shuffles in. AJH, man. Hope all is well. Hayden UK is here. Good evening. Ached Barley, happy Wednesday. Paparazzi's in the house, good to see you. Dougal McTavish, the chairman, says hello. Welcome in, good to see you, man. Now we're over here, look. Is the Skoda in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024? That is the real question. You'll be surprised. The Skoda has featured in not one, not two, but 3 sceneries so far. Well, 3 sceneries. The Skoda, not just any old Skoda. The Skoda. Jeppesen 2001 included the Skoda, along with, Birdshite. That is at our secret filming location. Then, friends, Parallel 42 included it in one of their sceneries. And then Robbie 613 Studio included it in one of his, a convertible type. It's a very famous, popular car. When I retire that car, lads, it's going to end up in the same museum as all the Bond cars. Right? I don't remember a Skoda being in a Bond movie. Exactly. That's how good it was. You didn't even recognise it was there. It's a stealth car. Anyway, Muse fan is here. Good to see you, Muse. How are yous, yous mad jokes, yous? Translated, that means good day. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Right, that's what he says. I know most of the planes shown in 24, along with the Cirrus Clouds and a few airline liveries, that only good eyes can spot, says Super Ty. Yes, the eagle eye that is Super Typhon. We'll be checking out those videos in a little bit, right? In a little bit. Dan, 1878, good to see you. 004 Aviation, welcome in. AW139 is for X-Plane. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Did the Irish invent Skodas? If they did, it's Ireland's worst Whoa. Steady on now. The Irish invented the motor car, right? The automobile. But yes, Speedy is in the chat. Good to see you, man. Now, Si Murray, good to see you. Happy hump day to you, man. Captain Sickbag, happiest of midweek days, Murph and gang. And to you. Hope all is well. Now, let me see. Jesus, where's this now? Mrs. Boobs, good to see you. Rambog Mort is in the chat. Welcome in. I tried to speak too fast. Me and Muse fan have our bags packed. Jesus, Gibbo. The horse must have been a paint. There's not really good news about horses in Ireland, actually. We won't get into that, but Jesus, if the horse didn't make it, I know a fella in Strafford who'll make it disappear. But anyway, we're over here. Out of how many sceneries? That's not important. The fact is, it got in, right? Now, don't come knocking if the caravan is rocking. Jesus. Neo, good to see you. Brook Bond. Wait, what? Shh, it's grand. Caesar is here. Good day, Caesar. You're very welcome aboard. Now, we're over here, look. Jesus, did I catch up? Energizer, I tune right into the Skoda part. Right? Do you know what I mean? Now, anyone watching us over on YouTube, Delta Bravo is here. Hello, Delta Bravo. Kieran Nile is here. Welcome in. Arctic Chill, Operator Starsky. Hello, my guys. Nutty Snack is there. Good to see you, my dude. Steve Stavros. Welcome aboard, Steve. Mickey Ozzy and Marie is here. You're all very welcome in, lads. You're looking well. You're looking very well. Sunjammer says, so that's why the first car had 3 wheels then. Invented by the Irish. Then the Germans put the 4th wheel on it. Do you remember the Reliant Robin? Look at them 2 handsome devils there in the background. Look, I'll let you who's Egypt and who's Egypter. Brilliant. But anyway, you like the old Skodas there now. Right, as I said, we're very busy, so we're going to jump straight into it, lads. Isn't that the handiest way to start? So I have a transition now that'll get us from this scene here, over to the next scene, right? And how we do this, well, we use a combination of smoke and mirrors and this sound. Right, brilliant. Is he? Okay, hang on. So the audio's working over here. Oh, Jesus, lads, hang on. Don't ask me how I did it. What's going on with the alert? I fixed it. Right. I guess we know now who the editor is. Can y'all hear me now 5x5 and it's all brilliant and wonderful? No? Do I have other sounds?
Jesus.
There's the alerts working now. Roger. Roger? All clear. No. Wait, what? Can't hear you, Murph. What? He broke another... Listen, right, you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, we'll go into lip reading, right? Here we go. And we're about to start. Right, Grant. Here we go now. That's... What did Gibbo say? What did Gibbo say? Ah, the P. Shag off, will you, right? One of these days... No, I won't. I'll never shut up. I've just too much to say. Not enough time in the world to say it. So anyway, we're going to be jumping into this here now in a moment. But I do, lads, I do need to get through the news because we've a bit, right? Now, we're going to show off the chopper, show off the scenery. I'll restart the sim because I need to install the new SimEffects didgeridoo, and then we'll jump over and do X-Plane stuff. And in between all of that, we will be chatting about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Right? Are we happy? Okay, here we go. Starting off with the news. And tonight, our news brought to us from Vasco over at MSFS A huge shout out. And of course to Callum and the lads over at FS Elite. And to Sergio Costa over at Helisimmer. 3 wonderful websites to keep you up to date with all the news of what's happening in the world of Microsoft Flight Sim and other sims for that matter. And I have the job that I just sit here and read their excellent work and make it sound like I actually know what's going on. It is brilliant, right? It's brilliant. And my spine isn't, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. Anyway, friends, our first story, a historic Spanish aircraft for the sim, the Hispano Aviation HA200 and the HA220. Huh? This aircraft, Spanish ground attack and training aircraft, now available for the sim, designed in the 1950s by Juan de la Cruz Martin Albo. And this other guy, Rafael Rubio Eloa, and the renowned Willie Messersmith. Huh? 1950s? Anyway, it marks the first release from this developer who pledges to dedicate themselves to the simulation of historic Spanish aircraft. The HA200, the Saeta, it holds a special place in aviation history as the first Spanish jet aircraft, the first with a pressurized cabin, and the first to be exported by Spain. The prototype, powered by 2 French Turbomeca Mabori 2 turbojets, made its maiden flight on August 12, 1955, piloted by Fernando de Juan Villenta, and that was over at the Pablo Aerodrome in Seville. The Super Sieta was developed as a single-seat ground attack variant, which features more powerful mecha engines, a self-sealing fuel tank in place of the second seat, and additional armament capabilities, which included rocket containers and underwing mounts. Unfortunately, the aircraft doesn't provide a list of features or any other details about the product. However, early impressions from those who have tried the aircraft have been quite positive. The promotional images show what appears to be a good-looking aircraft inside and out, with good modelling and texturing, and the first reviews highlight the same aspects. It's an unusual machine, isn't it? A couple of pictures here now, you can kind of see it, 1950s. So, yeah, it's not a million miles off, I suppose, maybe the likes of a Fuga. Not a million miles off it, right? In terms of systems, realism, flight dynamics, and sound design, it seems to be a solid offering, especially from an unknown developer. There doesn't appear to be any GPS or EFB, suggesting an accurate period rendition of the aircraft without any modern conveniences. But I'd argue an EFB, it's not there to make it modern, it's there to help us. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it offers simmers an intriguing glimpse into Spanish military aviation history, and it's available now over on Sim Market for about €18. And there is a video here, and we can have a look at it. You kind of, is there sounds? There's a bit of soundage and stuff on it. I mean, that's not bad. Turn off your gadget. Let's have a now listen. There's sounds. This sounds kind of good, doesn't it? Right, well, it's going to have to be an aircraft I check out, but we'll add it to the list of things to check out. It's not bad, sure it's not. Gary Duggan, good to see you. Caleb is here as well. Welcome aboard, man. So anyway, look, it's a new aircraft, a Spanish aircraft. It is very intriguing, and well, it looks the part, doesn't it? It looks pretty. So I'll have to check that one out soon. But it's available now if you want to grab it, or certainly wait until, you know, I'll stream it if you're thinking about getting it. Next up, of course, Cowan Sim surprised us with a brand new release. It is that of the H130 or the EC130, and they released it the other day, currently on version 1. We're going to check this out on the stream tonight. It used to be known as the Eurocopter EC130, more commonly known now as the Airbus 130. Anyway, it's a versatile, powerful light helicopter, widely used in various roles, including passenger transport, emergency medical services, and indeed law enforcement. Manufactured by Airbus, the H130 has a spacious cabin, advanced avionics, and exceptional performance. Cowan Sim promises to be, the Cowan Sim 130 promises to be another impressive addition to the fleet, leveraging feedback from pilots from around the world. This is somewhere between, I suppose, a Gazelle and... Well, I don't know. It's very similar to a Gazelle, right? And the Aerospatiale or Spatiale Gazelle. We have it here loaded into the sim. We're going to give it a blast. Number of features, including custom bindable throttle, fully functional default bindings, detailed manual and a paint kit, persistent saves for weight, balance and options for your next flight, realistic startup. It includes a HEMS version for medical operations, 3 variants for your panel, including a 530, 430, a GTN, and also a G3X, and of course analog. That's pretty nice. Animated floats, removable doors, exhaust blur effects, and optional downwash effects. 50 liveries, right? And an easy to use paint kit in GIMP and Adobe Photoshop formats, which is always great to see that coming from devs. WY's fully dynamic sound set, fully VR ready, and it includes some 4K PBR textures along with custom 3D instruments and so on and so on. It's available now over on the Cowan Sim website and priced at $29.99, and expect to see it in other stores soon. So we'll have a look at this in detail shortly. Now, we all saw this last week. I just said we'll give it a shout. Yes, of course, the C-47D Skytrain and the Waco CG-4A were released by Microsoft. Airplane Heaven did the work here, and all the sales for the first month are going to the USO. And the reception of the aircraft, lukewarm. There's definitely issues with it. There was some texture issues. There's some sound issues. Right? The glider's quite good. But anyway, it's now released. I'm a little bit kind of biased when it comes to this aircraft, only because it's my favourite aircraft. And I think the importance of getting something like this right should have been better focused, is probably the best way to put it. You know, it looks great and all, but like there's some flaws with it. There's LOD issues. The thing just didn't go through sufficient quality control. End of story. It just didn't. And anyone who got it, it is priced well. The proceeds are going to a very good cause, but it needs work. It needs work. It was disappointing. It was somewhere between the line of disappointing and disgraceful, right, in terms of this aircraft being released in the current state it is. So whoever's responsible, don't care. They just need to fix it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, it is released. I'm sure folks are having fun with it. The glider is very intriguing, and well, the features that it comes with it. You can drop paratroopers, which is great. The aircraft has 3 different variants, which is great, and you know, it looks very, very nice. But there are some glaring issues with it, so I just hope they fix it. Do you know what I mean? JNLN, good to see you, man. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're very well. Like when you see these sort of photos which look great, it makes you think, is that a multiplayer environment or is that using the airshow mod? Because let's face it, lads, multiplayer. They would have had they have tested this aircraft in a multiplayer environment, they would have copped the issues. You know what I mean? So is it fair to say that the development team are using the airshow mod? I think so. But anyway, moving on. Parallel 42, and with a bit of news from these guys. We're going to start off here with the update to the Freedom Fox and also the Fox 2. It's got a massive update. So Parallel 42's top rated aircraft currently in the marketplace, and it's been a fan favourite for quite some time, allows simmers to easily go bush flying, make tons of customizations, and it's being supported directly by Trent Palmer. Despite it being available for quite a while, Parallel 42 have revisited the plane and provided simmers with a brand new update. At Parallel 42, we're nearing completion of the update. Trent Palmer messaged the team to inform them that they had added a smoke system to the real-world aircraft, so Parallel 42 have added that in, including its own mirrors, just like the real-world aircraft. Some of the other changes include new liveries, new merch avatars, and the update, of course, to the G3X. They also have an analog version as well. And other quality of life touches include a QR code to the product wiki, a new click spot to return doors if they were removed, and some general improvements to the lighting. You can pick up this aircraft now. If you don't already own it, you can pick it up for about $35. It also comes as a free update. So we're going to be flying this on Friday night. We're visiting Idaho, and I'm going to be flying the newly updated Freedom Fox, and it's a great bush plane, fantastic.
Oh,
so we'll be giving this an out blast there over the weekend. Colonel Fork is here. It's good to see you, man. So moving on, moving adjacent, Parallel 42's new immersion pack for the A320 is set to launch on June 21st. They're gearing up to launch their highly anticipated A320 immersion package for the sim, and according to new information available, on June 21st, simmers will be able to purchase the add-on package for SimEffects. I've just grabbed it tonight, and I'll load it up here and have a look. Now, it does work on A320s. It's not just the Phoenix A320. It's designed to work on A320s. And you can see here, price at $15 or $10 for those who are Club 42 members. For you to become a Club 42 member, you got to spend more than $42 on Parallel 42's store. That's what they do during the early access window. Anyway, the add-on promises to bring new level of visual realism to your virtual A320 flights. You could be flying in the default Asobo model, the latest INI builds, the Phoenix, or even the entire Latin VF4 A320 family. Nice. There's 17 custom visual effects, and there's a list of them here. I'll go through this in a bit more detail when they're showing them off, or when we're showing them off. APU heat blur, cloud effects, contrails, engine chine vortices, engine cold start, plumes of condensation and vapor. That could be interesting. What else do we have? Hot brake smoke, skid marks from the tires, lads. St. Elmo's fire, which is cool looking. It's like this mad electrical kind of lightning bolt over the window. It looks kind of cool. Wastewater drain, water droplets, and so on and so on. We'll have a look at it in the flesh to see how it all looks. It looks very impressive there, though, right? Yes, SimEffects is a prerequisite for this. Good man, Gibbo. So SimEffects, those who have it, you know the story. It adds a lot of base visual effects to your simulator. This is specifically for the A320. It's an add-on for the A320. It's an add-on for SimEffects. You need SimEffects to use this. All right? And we'll check it out here, as I say, in a little while. And then when we look at it, the countdown, as I said, 8 days. And, well, you can have a look to see what the thing can actually do. And there's quite a lot of features with this. That's just mad looking, isn't it? So, we'll have a look here now in a couple of moments. Now, the marketplace launches a major sale for its top-rated aircraft. To celebrate the most highly rated aircraft by the community, we've invited developers of top-rated aircraft to join this first-ever top-rated aircraft sale. And the sale is active between June 9th and 6th. Now, there are some huge savings to be made here, and some incredible deals. So if you're into the big airliners, you're going to get some discounts on the likes of your PMDG stuff. You're going to get discounts on Just Flight stuff, which is always good to see. But also from the general aviation side, there's good discounts with the likes of A2A and basically all the popular aircraft. One of the best is actually the whatchamacallit, the Wildcat. It's $9 or $9.99. What? Crazy, right? Anyway, the sale started on June the 9th and it'll run until the 16th. And well, you can just see some of the stuff here. Look, you can get you can get the Discus Glider, $4.99. Cowan Sims are in there for the 500. The F4 Wildcat, $9.99. Incredible value there, right? The Eurofire Typhoon is there. The Fox 2 base model, or you can get the complete Freedom Fox or Fox 2. That's for sale at the moment. It's more than half price. Which is great. What else do we have? Some other notable favorites here. The Gottfriend fleet, but look, $7.99 for the Mini 500 or $9.99 for the double ender. The Concorde is in there. I don't know how good the Concorde is behaving, but that's, you know, almost half price. SimWorks Studios Kodiak is only $20, which is great. The Wilga only $20. The Chancellor, an absolutely incredible aircraft, $24, which is really, really good. The Fuga Magister from Azure Poly, that's again brilliant, $17.49. Flying Iron Sims, their P38 Lightning, another absolute cracker, along with their Hellcat, heavily discounted. There's a great one here. Look at the Vulcan, lads. You can pick up the Vulcan for €25. What? Incredible stuff. But yeah, look, the Chinook is in there. The Transall made it on the list. FS Reborn's aircraft is in. Is that on special? Maybe not, unsure. But their ultralight is the Sting, $22.49, 10% off. But it's a huge sale on at the moment, and it's on in the official marketplace. Have an L browse, have a look at it, and just be sure you get in there before, was it Sunday? It's gone on Sunday. All right. Now, in other news, I had a look at this during the week. GSX Pro has been updated with seated passengers for the Phoenix A320. Passengers with GSX will board your airplane, but now they'll actually walk inside the cabin and sit themselves down. You put on the right amount of music with just enough lighting, you will terrify the bejesus out of yourself because they just look at you, right? But it looks great. Maybe this is the future. I mean, it's, you know, your passengers are actually, you know what I mean? And then it turns into like a Bethesda game. You can go over and talk to them. Can you imagine? Right? But anyway, it's a free update for GSX, marking the version 3.0. And the common frustrations, of course, we've all had is the lack of passenger presence inside the aircraft. Visual reference, of course, that is. The update now, Simmers will no longer have to fly with an empty cabin. So that's available now from GSX. It's part of a free update. And if you don't have GSX, well, you can grab that as well. But if you're on the fence about GSX, well, we will be talking about FlightSim 2024. So maybe pull up the handbrake and let's wait and see what happens there. Pretty cool. They also have updated crew uniforms. There's an absolute ton of them, right? Tons of them. Anyway, moving on. FS2Crew Microsoft ATR edition has been released, and it's featuring Magnar, the world's most famous ATR pilot. Well, FS2Crew is back with a new flight crew simulation for the sim. This time they're supporting the Asobo Hans Hartmann ATR series, the regional airliner that launched for the platform last year. FS2Crew has made some changes and promises that this is one of their most in-depth releases yet. The release aims to transform your ATR flying experience by introducing a highly realistic and interactive flight crew environment. It was built in collaboration with a world-renowned ATR pilot, Captain Magnar, whose popular YouTube channel is a treasure trove of information for both real-world pilots and simmers looking to up their game. According to FS2Crew, Magnar has also worked closely with the team to ensure that the simulation mirrors real-life procedures and interactions. Not only does the product feature his guidance, but it also includes his voice, adding an extra layer of authenticity. As seen on the previous editions, like the ones for PMDG and the Phoenix, the ATR edition is designed to provide a professional airline flight crew simulation experience. Users step into the role of captain, the pilot flying, while the simulated first officer takes on the role of pilot monitoring. This division of responsibilities replicates the real-world cockpit dynamics, which those seeking procedure realism will appreciate. It's available now. You can go and pick it up over on their website, and it's priced at $24.99. FS Dream Team Dash is next to get this. Oh, really? The Jesus. Benji. Hey, Benji, good to see you. Yeah, it's interesting for the ATR, isn't it? It's good to see stuff happening for the ATR. And we probably have sounds here. There's the dude himself, look. So he's talking all about hotel mode and how it works. Look.
Starting pilot. So here we go.
So yeah, a way to get more kind of, into your ATR, I suppose. Pretty cool. Now, Backwood Studios, well, they've released Glens Winton Aerodrome Echo Golf Delta Whiskey for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Known for their cozy rendition of small private airfields, and they've released their latest offering for the sim, Glens Winston Aerodrome. Add-on brings the picturesque countryside of the UK, catering to both recreational and light aviation activities. The aerodrome's history dates back to the pioneering days of flight, originally serving as a military airfield during the First World War. Glenswinton played an important role in defending the UK size. Benji, you're going to get yourself a terrible slap because you're spamming the chat. Do you know what I mean? You poor old devil, God love you. And moving on, right? Evolving into a hub for flying clubs and private aviation. There's always one. Sorry to type properly. FS Dream Team said the Pilot Dash 7 is next to get the GSX passengers. Ah, brilliant. Will it though? That Dash 7 is like, ugh. Well, let's see. Anyway, this place, over the decades, the airfield has witnessed numerous milestones in aviation history, from the golden age of biplanes to the modern era of sleek, high-performance aircraft. Despite changes in its ownership over the years, the aerodrome has remained a beloved institution within the aviation community. Its quaint hangar and vintage barns stand as silent witness to the evolution of general aviation. It looks pretty nice, this, doesn't it? Look at the pictures. Ooh, some UK countryside. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it does look nice. Custom model buildings, animated people and farm life, hand-built dirt roads throughout the property, custom forest to reflect satellite imagery, real-world sloping runway, custom night lighting, stone wall fencing, custom 3D model props and static objects. With the release of the aerodrome, Backwood Studios continue to offer Microsoft Flight Simmers new airfields to explore and experience in the sim. Besides, it's quite small, so you're bound to find a challenging landing for your aircraft. It's available now over on Orbex, priced at just €4.60. €4.60. That's not bad at all. Now, you could argue the toss, couldn't it be freeware? Yes, it could. But look, it's a small, quaint little airfield, and it looks the job. I mean, you know, it's in a forest. That could be fun. Now, FSDG have announced the Maldives for Microsoft Flight Sim, P3D, and X-Plane. Huh? Developer FlightSim Development Group have announced their latest scenery destination to be the Maldives. It's a group of islands located out in the Indian Ocean and a popular tourist destination well known for its flora and fauna as well as the luxurious resorts. The main airport of the Maldives is Vidana International Airport, serving the city of Malé, and they've announced that the airport will be coming soon to Microsoft FlightSim, P3D as well as X-Plane. They didn't clarify if the Maldives will include coverage for multiple islands. The Maldives. So that's it in Microsoft Flight Sim that we can see. Well, it's all Microsoft Flight Sim. Look how close the runway is to the water. Look, Jesus, all the boats and stuff. The Maldives. Would you ever go to the Maldives? Do you know anyone who's gone to the Maldives? Do you know what I mean? Have you ever spoken to someone who's been to the Maldives? Is it nice? Do you know what I mean? Need a chainsaw on the back of the plane. You nearly would. Trit says, Gibbo, did you know that Murph had a bad back? Being his best mate, I thought you would have had offered to walk up and down his spine.
Yeah, baby.
Right? Elf, you mad devil, you sit on your hands. Jesus. Elf has just gifted 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Thank you very, very much indeed. He gave one to Jordan, Wheelchair Willie, Angry One Horn, Mr. Anders, and Jet Pilot. Lads, if you just got the tier 1 sub from Elf, do be sure to say thank you. Very, very kind of you, Elf. Cheers, man. Is it sinking? I think it is. Yeah, the Maldives are sinking. Yeah. But anyway, look, it's available, or it's not available yet. It's just news to say they're developing this scenery for P3D, X-Plane, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Interesting. Now, moving on. Fox Golf Design. Well, they've announced Rome Ciampino Airport. I think that's how we pronounce Ciampino. I used to call it Ciampino, and then I was told by an Italian, Ciampino. Very good. Anyway, Fox Golf Design, a debutante to the world of flight sim sceneries, have announced on their Facebook page that their latest scenery for the sim is going to be that of Rome Ciampino, Lima India Romeo Alpha. In the short announcement, they said that the project is still in its early stages, but they are working hard to deliver an immersive and detailed scenery. We have a couple of screenshots. Now, we already have, I think, 2 other rendition of Ciampino. Ryanair used to fly here. It's my understanding they no longer fly here now because it's for whatever reason, the airport, they're using it more for water bombing and all this sort of stuff, firefighting. But I've flown in and out of here many times. So along with sharing 5 previous screenshots, the developer said there'll also be future updates on the progress of the scenery as development continues. So good news there. We have a new Rome airport on the way. Anybills have confirmed Nairobi Airport is coming soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator. That was posted on the 7th of June. Nairobi. After a set of initial teaser images we shared with the community several weeks ago, was FS Elite, Indie Builds have today announced that they're working on Nairobi Airport for Microsoft Flight Sim. The news, which was announced on the Indie Builds forum and social channels earlier, came along with further preview screenshots from the airport's land and air sides, as well as a feature list. No release date just yet. Pictures look pretty though, don't they? Nairobi. Emirates Sky Cargo there. Remember they teased an image a week or two, well, 3 or 4 weeks ago, of just like a loading bay, a vehicle loading bay. I don't see any Skodas here now. Jesus, then oh wait. No, that looks like a Merc. I need to have a conversation with Indie Builds. Like, I like what they're doing and all. A great bunch of lads, but right.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying, you need some Skodas in your sceneries. It looks very, very nice. The feature list will include handmade ground textures, bespoke texture sets, including your runways, aprons, paths, and roads, true-to-life airport landside recreation, accurately modelled and position dynamic airport lighting, detailed models of all the airport buildings, up-to-date airport layout, GSX profile included, LOD optimization, and it's using the latest Microsoft Flight Sim SDK features. Ooh. No release date or price just yet, but anyone who likes flying in Africa, well, Nairobi Airport is on the way. Now, Vertical Sim announced Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International is coming soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport opened all the way back in 1929 as Merrill Fogg Field, named after the local aviation pioneer. Initially a modest airfield, it saw significant expansion during the Second World War when it was transformed into Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale. After the war, it was returned to civilian use and it experienced rapid growth alongside South Florida's booming tourism area. Today, it's a major public airport in the Broward County in Florida, near Fort Lauderdale's cruise ship ports, which also makes it a popular hub for cruise passengers. It has 4 terminals, multiple runways, and handles over 36 million passengers a year, both on domestic and international flights. Destinations include the Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean. Vertical Sim aims to recreate the airport with a balance of detail and performance, typical of their other releases. Features inside the airport perimeter will include a full airport terminal modelling and a simple interior to balance with performance, reworked elevation for runway 28, custom high detailed aerial imagery, and the latest 2024 taxi layout. Other bits and bobs include custom taxiway, guard lighting, GSX profiles, and so on. We've no further details on this to do with pricing or even a release date. Fort Lauderdale, though, it's on the way. Now, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, the release date has been announced for November 19th, a day that Gibbo will be washing his hair. The new teaser was unveiled over on the Xbox showcase. Now, before we get into anything, did you watch the Xbox showcase? Now, have I missed something? Have I been asleep for the last year? Like, I honestly don't know what's happening. How is it, and why is it, that Solid Snake, who was once the man, right? That fella would knock you out by looking at you. You know, he'd just stare at you. Oh, Jesus, the pain. He's now turned into some sort of an Aegis. And every single protagonist is a woman. Which is fine and all, but like, what's going on? Like, every single clip, the main person, the main lead role. What? Anyway, the world has gone absolutely mad. But anyway, rant over, park the bus just there. But like, what are they doing? It's great to have female protagonists. It's wonderful. Stop killing off the men, though. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, keep the lads where they were. It's like James Bond. Leave them alone. It's great to see the girls getting involved. Wonderful. But don't kill off the fellas while you're doing it. Moving on. So yes, November 19th, a new teaser has been unveiled, and we're going to be checking out this in detail now here in a moment, right? No wonders McGee said the same thing, right? It's not just me. We're going to go through these in a little bit, go through the trailers in a little bit, because, well, it's great to see a trailer. It's great to see some of the, ooh, look at this, and ooh, look at that, but it's very kind of, you know, shut up, Gibbo. Who asked you? I mean, who asked? Gibbo's comment, can I just point out, Murphy's guess of an August release was once again wrong. I, on the other hand, said Q4. What do I win? Hang on. Ah, Jesus. The things you have to do. I shouldn't have moved. I'm about to hurt me back. Hang on a second. I'll sort this out now. Jesus. English, Murph, English. You can't really see it now because it's... Hang on. Oh, Jesus, I'm about to break it. Oh, it's upside down!
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
You happy now? Yeah. Gilbert was right. That's the new slogan for the stream. He was, though. He was right. Which, I want 5 press-ups. Oh, Jesus. Right, we'll be chatting about Flight Sim 2024 in a moment. And yeah, once again, Gibbo was right. I don't know how he does it. FlightSim.com. Wait to hear this. They've launched a modular force feedback yoke and flight consoles. What? We have a new hardware developer in town who's doing some force feedback. They announced the introduction of a new range of modular and affordable force feedback yokes and flight consoles aimed at flight sim enthusiasts looking to expand their home cockpit with more reactive equipment. The products are now available for pre-order. The force feedback yoke, the CLS 60 and 120 offerings include these 2 yokes with force feedback, a technology that tries to simulate the sensations of real flight. The key features would show that they have modular design, meaning you can be, you can upgrade it from a 60 Newton motor to a 120 Newton motor simply by swapping out the motor. The modular approach also extends compatibility with different yoke handles, including that of the upcoming 737-800 Boeing style yoke. Realistic force feedback. The yoke provides realistic control forces that enhance the immersion of flying experience. I spoke to someone who uses the Brenner stuff. Do you ever see the Brenner stuff? Is it Brenner? And the difference of flying the sim with something that has force feedback versus no force feedback, it's night and day in the difference, because you're now getting that sense of load bearing, physical load bearing on your hands. Like, right? Anyway, durable construction, user-friendly interface. Complementing the force feedback yokes, they've also introduced the flight consoles. Range of controls including battery master, alternator switches, avionics, so on and so forth. Loads of them, right? Loads of them. Now, here's the thing. We can go over and have a look at the old prices. Now, these guys will be at Flight Sim Expo. And just to give you an idea, right? Oh, that's what they're raising. Did I not see prices for this stuff? They're doing crowdfunding. Oh yeah, look, the force feedback yoke, they're hoping to have it in at around €750. Now you might say to yourself, Jesus, that's extremely nuts. It is, but if you were to look at the Brunner stuff, right? Look at the Brunner stuff. You would want a hefty.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you would want a hefty wallet. But like, there's now competition, which is great, right? Is it Brunner? I'm almost certain. Is it Brunner flight yokes? It is. Except, so what's the price on this? That's €1,200. That's €1,250. The offerings coming in here from FlightSim .com, it's considerably cheaper, $750. What? There's 20 and like there's 46 remaining at that. That is a considerable discount. Well, it just is. It's what's the price on that? Is it 500 quid cheaper? €500 cheaper. It's the price of a Thrustmaster HOTAS. It's nuts, right? So I'll get in front of these lads over at Expo to have an old chat with them and and see if I can break it. Well, I won't try and break it. I might break it. But I just thought this was pretty cool, right? So there's a name. We'll go back to Sergio. There's a name, FlightSim. FLITE, flightsim.com. Have a look at it, lads. I mean, if you're in the market, if you always wanted to get yourself something with force feedback, because I can tell you, based on what I've heard, it's absolutely a game changer. It's a game changer. And it'll work with multiple simulators. I do know for the Brunner stuff, X-Plane actually does a better job because it can talk to it a little bit better. But it works fine on Microsoft Flight Sim. Brunner also do force feedback pedals. Otherworldly, right? FlightSim.com, interested in Flight Sim. I don't know why they went with that name, but anyway, that's the name of them. Realism Reimagined, they call it. The world's first modular force feedback yokes. I like the idea that you can just change out the stuff. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Let's have a look here now. Buttons, Murphy, you can do it. Yes. Now, what's this? Tarnish Mossman, brilliant. Jesus. It's a tough crowd, lads. Tough crowd. Right, now, moving across. Where am I? It was over here. No, that's the wrong button. I'm after pressing the wrong button. Don't panic. Right. Start panicking. I've now unpressed the wrong button. Right, we're grand. So, moving on. Staying with hardware, we visit helisimmer.com and a shout out to Sergio Costa. There's a limited amount of time. You can get the Sim Nautica Eagle force feedback stick and cyclic base for €200 less than the regular price. Sim Nautica, it's getting ready to release their force feedback stick to the market, and the company has decided to launch a pre-order campaign until July the 1st. Meaning, if you're into your heli flying, well, here's a force feedback solution for your cyclic and your stick. You can purchase the stick and base for $999, $200 or €200 less than what they were asking for, which is just under €1,200. So we can see what the prices are, right? Now, again, the more these start coming out, the more options, the more competition, the cheaper the price goes. That's how same with VR, right? The more people making it, but the cheaper, because they got to start competing. However, this is pretty cool, right? This has 7 what's our NM Newton something with boost kit, and it's looking absolutely incredible that we're going to start seeing force feedback now come into our Sims. Absolutely cool. So for the heli pilot out there, have a look at this one, and for everyone else, have a look at the FlightSim.com one as well, right? Now, moving on, we're nearly there. VATSIM Cross the Land, the Americas 2024 Army Spine has been announced. Bookings are open for the second edition of the Continental Crossing. One of VATSIM's most popular events, back for a second edition, returning on July the 6th. Pilots will be able to choose from a variety of airports across North and South America as they make long-haul crossings with full en route ATC staffing to be expected. The departures are out of many places, including Punta Cana, San Jose, Cancun, Mexico City, Guatemala. Antigua is there as well. Arrivals are going into Vancouver, Winnipeg, Chicago, New York, Kennedy, Phoenix, Quito, Lima, Caracas, and even Maness as well. Bookings open on July the 2nd, so pilots would need to be jumping in quickly. There's only 800 slots available, and that's an upcoming VATSIM event. Newton meter, a scary wolf. Thank you very much. All this reminds me, Honeycomb is still very quiet. Yes, it is. DoggyTube, my settings for the Sim, if you go onto our Discord, !Discord, you'll be able to see it in our Discord. I have all my Sim settings in there. All right. Now, FlightSim 2024, this is fresh off the shelf as well. Microsoft have confirmed they're going to be doing 2 seminars at FlightSim Expo. This is terribly exciting. And if you look very close here, lads, I'm going to show you something absolutely gorgeous now. If you just have a look there now. Can I do this with this? I can. Look at this now, right? If you just have a look here now. Here, lads, is the back of a head. No ordinary back of the head. That's the back of my head. And there's Gibbo. You know, he's wearing a white hat sitting beside me. But look, right, you know, I'm just saying, I'm on the telly, look. I'm on the telly. But anyway, Microsoft, right? Remember that time Murphy used to be, like, talking about the news? Microsoft on Saturday, they're going to be giving a shout out, and they're going to expand on the features of what Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is going to be all about. So it's saying here, in addition to the specific seminar on the development update, because they're going to give us a development update, a second seminar will happen on Sunday, and it's going to focus on an update from the marketplace team. The description on the Flight Sim Expo website, the seminar will share business insights for Flight Sim 2020 in-game marketplace, grand. It'll also provide an introduction to the marketplace we will find in Flight Sim 2024. The seminar will take place on Sunday at 12:30, and their other one is going to be on Saturday, where we're expecting Jorg and Seb to give us a bit of an update of what's going on. Do you know what I mean? You know, is that your melon? Front row. Oh, brilliant. I won't be in the front row this year. We were staring at them. Look, there's the head of 2 Irish fellas hitting 2 European fellas. We had them under savage pressure. They didn't crack. You know, but we tried. Now, another notable shout out here, lads. This VATSIM-radar.com website that I use quite a bit, right? It's received a notable update, including how you track aircraft. It gives you like a full line and a dotted line, and you can also overlay all sorts of stuff with like the wind, clouds, precip, all the jazz as well. So anyone who uses VATSIM radar, they've been updating this goodo, and there's a lot more stuff coming. I just thought I'd pop it in there so you can actually see what was happening. There's the brunner, we don't need you. Now finally, Cross the Ditch. Here's an event happening this weekend. Auckland Waves. For 18 hours this June, the skies over the Tasman Sea between Australia and New Zealand will be filled with aircraft on a mission to cross the ditch. An example of the typical down under understatement, the ditch, well, it's over 1,100 nautical miles wide. The flight routes all range from 2.5 to 3.5 hours of flight time, and throughout the event, Oceania's two divisions, VAT-NZ and VAT-PAC, will be providing full gate-to-gate ATC coverage in the Southern Hemisphere's premier oceanic event. Great opportunity to experience oceanic flying without the need to commit to an 8-hour flight, so if you're into it, do be sure to jump on in. The 18-hour event is aimed to allow pilots from all over the world to join in the fun. Kicking off on Saturday from around 1200 Zulu, and the same on Sunday. And the seasoned event is organised in waves. Each airport will have a 2.5 to 4.5 hour departure window. Given each flight is about 3.5 to 4 hours in length, the previous wave's flight will be arriving at the same airport as the next one departs. So this looks pretty cool, right? So yeah, some of the departure airports. Cross the Ditch is excited to announce that we have been partnered with Orbex, proud sponsor of Cross the Ditch 26. The event is being hosted by Blue Games over on the Orbex YouTube channel on Sunday. Do be sure to check out Blue Games. Give big shout out to Blue. He's going to be streaming the event with exciting giveaways. Nice. So that's a pretty cool event. Again, if you're not going to fly it, by all means jump on with observer mode. Have a listen in. Oceanic operations, a little bit different. We haven't touched on them much, but they're all happening very, very soon. Now, lads, we move on. The H130. We're going to do this relatively quickly because it's now 9 o'clock, and I think we're doing all right. So, a brand new helicopter in the sim, right? Turn up the sound there, Murphy. There we go. And from Cowan Sim, we know that there are 50 liveries for this aircraft, including a fair bit of stuff when it comes to the paint kit. And, well, looking at the aircraft, the modelling, it looks superb, doesn't it? This is a very, very pretty looking helicopter. It looks the jazz. Now, I have it configured as a HEMS. It's a medical variant, and you can change the interior layout. You can pick any livery you want, and you can add things like, the flotation device, spotlights. You can throw a camera on the thing if you want. You have a lot of options here when it comes to this helicopter, right? Super tight, we will be. I just want to show off these two things first. So this is priced at $30. You can pick it up over on the Cowan Sim website, and isn't it mad looking? As I said, it's very similar to that of a Gazelle. It's like a modern Gazelle, isn't it? Cowan Sim, there's no, you're never going to have any worries when it comes to how good they can make the aircraft look. I mean, there's superb modelling here, texture work, everything here is bang on the money. It looks very, very nice indeed. And you have that level of customization. For example, if you wanted to remove the doors, or if you wanted to put extra bits and bobs, if you wanted to put the bits and bobs on it, all you have to do is go into the weight and balance menu, and you can add your stuff in there. So you can see your pilot, passenger, medical HEMS variant, spotlights, all that sort of stuff there as well. All right, so it's the usual. I mean, this is what we expect from Cowan Sim, right? And the facility that we're at, well, this is from Simulations. We spoke about this last week, and it's that of their new airport here in Vilnius. And well, it's done pretty well, I have to say. It's a beautiful looking airport. Simulations, they've been going from strength to strength, So we're going to hop into this chopper, take it for a quick spin to see what it's all about, right? So I don't know why is that gone like that now? The cursor is goosed. Anyway, this is inside the aircraft. We have it configured as a HEMS. There's our patient, and well, a couple of things we can do. We can change out the GTN options. TDS is included. The 530s are there. We can also change our panel. So we can go for the steam gauge, we can go for a mix of steam gauge and the G3, and then we can go G3 and also our GTNs. So there's a lot of options here, which is pretty cool. Looking at the textures inside the aircraft, again, they're done very, very well. Plenty of animations. We can open and close the doors. We can open and close windows. I have found an issue. With the cyclic, I can't move the gadget fully right. It's like it's locked. That's full right, that's full left. So there's something not right there. This thing, I think, needs an update. But anyway, we'll start it up and we'll check out the sounds. That's probably the best way to go. On the overhead, again, looking into the back, it's fairly well detailed, and all of this can be removed if you wish. Disappear the Kazak or the Kazavak if you want to, because it's just terrifying. But again, if you wanted this out of there, you can remove the HEMS variant, and we'll just drop it back, and it puts it back into this sort of jazz. You know what I mean? Good girl, Brenda. She's now sitting here beside us. So it just goes back into like a passenger variant. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Okay, so let me see. There's a twist lock on the base. I'll have to check. Maybe that's what it is. There is a twist lock, but it's not modeled. I can't access it. You know what I mean? So we're going to put this back into a HEMS machine. So we'll go 400. And that'll do nicely. Okay, so we're going to put some power into this machine and let's see what happens. So battery on. I'm listening to the sounds as well. What else we want to do? So we're going to get some anti-collision lights. Generator, leave it off at the moment. And on the horn there, we'll need that. Engine master switch to go on or off. Checking down here, throttle is on idle. That's grand. And looking onto the overhead, we're going to go to the crank. My fuel pump on? Fuel pump. We knew we forgot something. So let's have a listen to the old startup. We have good sounds. So the sounds are good. Bring the throttle up. So throttle coming up. Generator on. Avionics coming on. And we'll just let the rotor RPM build up. We're looking good. Now what else can we do here? Dome light, searchlight. That's our searchlight behind us. Okay, so the G3X, always great to see that. And we also then, we can change the 530 to something a bit different. Is that the PMS one? Or is that the PMS one? I can't remember. We'll find out now in a second though. Yeah, that's the one. Right, we're in the right one. Super. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to try and attempt to fly this machine and take it for a very quick ramble around the airport, and we're going to check out the airport from the chopper as well. So we can see that our rotor's coming up where it needs to be. Going to add some collective in on the anti-torque pedals, and let's see what the machine can do. So, oopsie daisy. Easy does it now, Murph. It's a little bit jumpy, this thing. There we go. Easy. Alright. Let's head on out this way. Flight model, there's something not 100% right with it. It leans to the left something fierce. And when you apply, you know, when you apply your cyclic into it, it just doesn't react right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's PMS version, yeah. But by and large, like, it's a nice machine to fly around in, but it's just, it needs a tweak. You know what I mean? Like, if we were to look on the outside, it has this weird kind of a, I don't know, it just likes moving around the place a little bit. And there's no real kind of rotor slap either. Helicopters are hard to fly from outside. So we'll ramble over this way. Look at the VOR station we have here at the airport as well. And it includes a couple of static aircraft on the ground. Vilnius Airport, it's a nice airport. There's some nice details here along with the scenery. You have a DHL building over there on the right hand side. And we can see the main terminal. We can see the fire station over there. There is perimeter fencing, that's always a good sign. And the slopage of the runway seems to be bang on as well. It wobbles a bit, that's the one. Adam B. Twitch, good to see you. I expect better from Cowan Sim.
Jesus.
So do I, lads, and that's kind of why I'm a little bit, you know, It's just slightly off. It just seems it's very kind of floaty and wobbly, if that makes sense. And I can't seem to get any decent rotor slap. Like, there's a ton of options. I love all the options you get, but by and large, you need the thing to handle right. Do you know what I mean? So coming back up towards the main side, there's your DHL building. Here's the fire station. We've got a couple of nice hangars here. There's nice decals on the hangar as well. Let's see what we can do. Let's go over to that hangar there. There's a nice decal there. Alright, bleed off the speed. Don't ramble us in here. Easy. 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 Right, don't hit the lights whatever you do, you muppet. Bit of forward momentum. It's a little bit more awkward than what you're used to when you fly helicopters. Or at least that's my feedback anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's very wobbly. No, it's nice. It's very pretty to look at. You know, everything Murph was wrong about. Wait, what? Hang on, we'll ramble over this way now. I'm sure they'll update it. It's the version 1 release. It just doesn't seem, flight model wise, it doesn't feel the way it should do. You know what I mean? Flipper Alloy, thank you very much indeed. The absolute ledge. Easy, easy, easy. Easy. Right, check it down there now. Look at the nice decals on the hangars, look. Isn't that nice? Very, very pretty. Could it be due to having very little weight in it? I don't think so. We've got plenty of weight in this. Like, it's rolling us to the left. Let's see what we can do here now. Can I adjust the center of gravity? That's to the left. How can I fix that? Don't we usually... Shouldn't there be a slider to adjust the center of gravity? I've no slider here to adjust it, you know what I mean? Now, to fix the center of gravity, which we can just put weight on the other side. Payload. Oh, I think it's 270. Co-pilot, like, why is it bringing the weight further back? It shouldn't. It should put it to the side. It doesn't seem right, do you know what I mean? The hems. Get rid of that. Okay, there's the weight back in the center. I wonder will that fix it? I wonder is the issue the hems? No, like, just look here briefly, lads. Do you see the movement of see how much movement there is left versus right? That's full right, that's full left, and that's 0. It's not right. Visually, it's not right. You know what I mean? The main panel could probably use some more textures. Yeah, it's a little bit bland here, I think. I agree. It's a bit clean looking. Now, look, you can change the panel option, click of a switch, and you do have some other, you know, but it's kind of textureless. I agree. It could do with something. Now, in terms of nighttime lighting, ramble in. Jeez, look at the scenery. Well, we haven't got much to look at in here. I mean, all the lights are on. They're backlit. That's all you need. However, we do have some overhead spotlights, and these look nice. You know, depending who or what is in your aircraft, it looks the part. Your external lights. Nothing to write home about, but they look well. And if we just ramble up here, you'll see the spotlights on the ground. Easy. So again, there's a nice little feature there, you know what I mean? You gotta love the spotlight, right? Very, very nice. But I just think if they can tweak the flight model, make the thing a little bit easier to fly, I think it's going to be great. At the moment, it's a little bit kind of meh. Which is a shame because there are a lot of features with it. It looks beautiful. It sounds great. They just need to do a thing. That's all. You know what I mean? Stick her down there now. So that's the chopper. And let's see what I can do here now. To shut this off, what do we do? That's the battery. No, engine off. Just break it all. Rotor break the whole lot. So while we're here, lads, let's go check out this airport, shall we? So simulations, and well, we'll start off at the very beginning. We'll go over to the front of the main terminal. Now, there's a couple of things I want to include. I'm going to hit 3 or 4 crows with the one stone. In actual fact, I'm going to hit a 5th one because Gibbo the Ledge has just given me another bit of news information. Why is my stuff not working? Gibbo, fair dues to you for that, man. Let's open this up. Breaking news, and Gibbo, you've heard it here first, right? There's a brand new add-on out. Save flight situations directly to specific locations on a map with FlightSave for Microsoft Flight Simulator. What? Let's have a listen. Roar Christensen, a developer of FS Starter 24 app, which was featured some time ago, has revealed a handy new tool for Microsoft Flight Sim. It's called FlightSave, and as the name implies, it allows users to create and save flight situations directly to specific locations on a map, providing a streamlined approach to managing flight scenarios. The key features include user-settable titles and auto-save functionality. It enables users to save their flights with custom titles, facilitating easy identification and retrieval. The tool also includes an auto-save function, allowing automatic saving of flight situations at user-defined intervals. Customizable weather and time settings. FlightSave allows flights to be saved with user-selectable weather profiles and time settings, ensuring that specific conditions can be replicated when a flight is loaded. Wait, can you save like live weather? So here he is loading in a saved flight. This seems very interesting. Simple loading of saved flights. Loading a saved flight in FlightSave is straightforward, involving a click of the corresponding marker on the map. Functionality is available at any time, allowing users to return to a saved flight scenario whenever they choose. Also has an interactive map with real-time positioning. Features a dynamic moving map displaying flight markers and a moving aircraft symbol. Nice. Compatibility. It offers an interesting set of features for those looking for an alternative way to save their flights and return them at a later date. The developer says that FlightSave is compatible with all aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim, but it seems the app doesn't manage aircraft settings, as the developer encourages users to use active pause after loading a flight to change these settings. So, is this going to mean you can reload your FMS in the exact same state before a CTD? No, but it will at least remember your location based on an autosave. You then use this add-on to load your aircraft to exactly where it was, hit your active pause, and then reconfigure your aircraft. Not a bad idea. It's available now over in Sim Market, priced in and around $10 US, and that's news hot off the shelf there, lads. I like the idea that you can save your flight. We need to get all your systems to configuration, weight and balance. It looks like all of that still has to be manual. But thanks for the shout out, Gibbo, and it's an interesting add-on. So, Vilnius, as I said, let's rumble over. And simulations, they've really gone from strength to strength, haven't they? Like we've seen their earlier work, and this is the first scenery I think that they've been working with InnyBuilds, because it's being sold through InnyBuilds. And well, let's go in and inspect it, shall we? So as we approach, there's one little issue with a traffic light in the middle of somewhere, which it shouldn't be. That's me now. I'll find these things, but like that needs an update because, that's dangerous. But anyway, apart from the traffic light, well, let's go in and have a look at the building. So the main terminal building, we have beautiful animated flags, look. Now they are on an animation loop, so you'll see them kind of jitter after a few moments and then they restart again. The vehicles used are stock assets, meaning that they're not the best looking, but that's going to be good if you're, limited to your FPS. No Skodas. I do like the design on the building. Look at this. This is beautiful, isn't it? And they're 3D, like. I thought this was very nice. Great attention to detail on the building. So rambling in towards the terminal itself, it's all right. I mean, look, it's you kind of have to go in and thinking, is this modelled? But it is. It's when you get in, it's modelled. So you can kind of see the crack. Now it's basic. There's no sounds. There's not much happening. Everything's kind of low res in terms of like people and stuff. And there doesn't seem to be kind of like a clear way to move in from one room to the next. So you just kind of go through the walls. Or go up. You know what I mean? So it's nicely detailed here. Let's go forward into the next room. Yes, that looks grand. Oh, here we have a stairs, right? Go up the stairs. And now you're into another part. This looks very nice. There's even another part up here, which gives you kind of a bird's eye view. So the interior is modelled. It's a little bit quiet. It's a little bit basic. But it's modelled, and there are some nice details here, look. It's done well, isn't it? And to have a look at the night lighting inside, give it a moment. The lighting is superb. I mean, look at that lighting. Isn't that nice? That's very, very nice. Drop down spill lighting, all the jazz. It looks very, very nice. Here's into the departures. It's just done quite well. Now, if we were to try and escape out through the window, let's have a look. And our night lighting continues outside, and you'll see where all the textures are. Wherever you have glass, that's a bit weird looking. Wherever you have glass, that's shocking weird looking. You guys seeing that? It's like a rendering issue. But you see where the glass is over at the terminal and on the buildings. And if you go back to the front of the building, again, the night lighting is pretty, isn't it? I mean, that's a pretty scene, lads, isn't it? That's very nice. So it's decent night lighting. Anyway, we'll go back to daytime here now, and we'll do one of these. So it's a fairly substantial terminal, isn't it? It's a huge building. And MM Simulations, they've done a great job kind of with the modelling. Modelling looks superb. And then we ramble out to this side, you'll see Vilnius. And again, you can go in, you can have a look at the windows. You'll see they have interiors in here. Yep, looks the job, very good. It's a scenery, but it's nicely detailed. Over this side, there is active building going on. They've included the building site, and there's tons of stuff happening over here. And then you have the conference area and the VIP terminal. They're parallax windows. But they look the job, right? They look the job. Now, moving on, more flags. Moving along past the main terminal, we come around this side. And we can see now where the control tower is. I thought this was neat. They've done a great job with the control tower. Look at the detail in here, look. Isn't that nice? They've done great work in here. It's very well modelled in here. It's a sizable airport, like it's freaking huge. Do you know? We move down here now. What else do we have? BGS is there. Lift Cargus is there. Flight Technics are there. You have the fire station. There's our chopper we left earlier on. Maintenance hangars. The paintings on the building. It's mad looking, isn't it? Your fire station is there. It's basic. The models are there. And what else do we have then? He also included the DHL building with all the vehicles. A couple of more hangars. And then we're out into the airfield itself. And it's a fairly large airfield. It's a huge airport. Got a couple of static aircraft over here. I'm very impressed with the VOR station. Highly detailed. And then we have you have a radar and you have other stuff down the road. I'll show you here now as well. That looks the job, doesn't it? And we have a radar in there, the old golf ball, and then you have a moving radar just down past it. And again, you have all your perimeter fencing. To me, that's always a sign of attention to detail. However, I will say this. The fencing kind of just goes into the terrain a bit. I found that to be odd. You're never getting in. Hang on.
Hello there.
We're in. Right? Do you know what I mean? FS Madman, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. So our night lighting outside on this side of the fence. The drop lights or the spill lights, everything looks great. And, well, it's just very, very pretty. Right? Now, you might be saying, okay, Murph, this is an airport. It's nice and all, but, like, there's no sounds. Well, here's where a little add-on is going to get you covered. And we're going to have a quick look at this now before we go any further. And I'm going to show you what it is. It's Eco Sounds. This is a new release from SoFly. Right? And I was messing with this the other day and I couldn't get it working, but I got it working. So these eco soundscapes, and the reasons why this wasn't working for me the last day, well, I didn't read the friggin' manual. By default, SoFly have included some 1,200 locations, meaning these sounds will automatically play when you have it turned on at those 1,200 locations, right? Hey, Burstix is here. Good to see you, man. Now, the thing is, right, these 1,200 locations for which, you know, Dublin is there, there's a ton of them, right? SoFly have also given instructions and us the ability to add more. You can use their sounds and add them to these areas. And they actually explain how you do it. You go into the SDK, you pick out the area and you say, right, play this sound. So let's say, for example, look, these are the sounds they have so far. They will be adding more. I'm going to start playing the airport sounds. So these are the default sounds we're listening to. Let's go for the airport sound. So it's playing now different airport sounds. You hear aircraft starting up. Sounds like an airport. Now some of the other ones we can add in, for instance, I don't know, tropical island. But you get the idea. These will load in automatically into the 1,200 locations they have already saved. If you're at a location, they'll give you the instructions on how you can add them to the global scenery. So it's not necessarily needing a scenery file. It'll save it to the sim. Or if you want, you can do it manually by manually pressing the button. They're giving you all the options here, which is kind of nice. Farm sounds. Right, do you know, and you can do all this sort of stuff, and they've included quite a few, right? There was another one here, city sounds. It could do, Adam, it could. Now, there's different sound effects. Like, every time you click it, it gives you a different one. Jesus, what's happening? All the hello there's. Rapporteur, good to see you. Tony, welcome in. If it has, get your wrapping paper 5 for 50 at Dublin. I'm buying it. Here's an airport interior sound. Do you know what I mean? So if you wanted, you could save that audio file to play when you're in this area. And they show you exactly how to do it. It's actually very good. Now, what's the longevity of a product like this going to be? All depends on FlightSim 2024, doesn't it? But I think it's a great idea, isn't it? Let's do a different one. That's aircraft. That's more aircraft. That's like a remote airport. Right? What else? Sounds of the mountains. Right? So that's what Eco Soundscapes can do. It's from SoFly, available now if you wanted to pick it up. £24, Great British pounds. It's up there price wise. It's about €30. But when it's set automatically, this is how the these are the automatic lists of where everything is. So it has Dublin, right? And it shows you how it works off a lat long. Once you're in that lat long, it'll start playing those sound effects, depending on where you are. So you can draw your little mesh and say, that's a city, I want city sounds. Right, draw a box over the airport, they're my airport sounds. Draw a box around the ramp, that's the airport ramp sounds. Do you know what I mean? So you have the freedom to do this. SoFly say they're going to be adding more areas. They have 1,200 they have 1,200 at the moment, and I suspect we're going to get a lot more. Right? Game over. Welcome in, man. It's a neat add-on. I do like it. And it does transform your sceneries, especially if you have it in automatic mode. You know. And then now you're waiting for the boo boo. The red zone is used for, you know what I mean? So Eco Soundscapes from SoFly, a great job. So moving on, friends, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring down the sim because I've just grabbed Parallel 42's newest gadget, and I think that's living in my downloads folder. So hang on a second. Let's have a look. Parallel 42 SimEffects immersion for, yes, we're going to extract that and extract it. Yes, do the thing. And once this is extracted, what do we do with this now? Do we just pop it into... I imagine we just pop this into our community folder, don't we? Close the sim. I'll restart the sim now in a second, don't worry, because I want to have a quick look at this. But we're going to be talking Flight Sim 2024 now, right? So let me see. Go into this PC, local, Flight Sim, stream only. Oh no, hang on, it'd be a plugin. And we'll go ahead and grab you. And I think that's all I need to do. I'm almost certain that's all we need to do. Now, where's me add-ons linker? Very sophisticated way of doing the, doing the stuff. Oh, Cabby as well. Jesus.
Hello there.
Hang on there now. Stream only. No, it's a plug-in. So we'll put it on the immersion for SimEffects A320. And load that and we'll boot up the sim. Kevin from Dublin, thank you very much indeed for following. You're very welcome in. Oh yeah, give us shared another yoke here earlier on, lads. It was called Cabby. I love that picture. But no, you can't. Now here's something interesting. Cabby. All our AI cabin crew announcements, right? Right, hear this.
The weather in Miami is partly cloudy, with a temperature of 33 degrees.
Senhoras e senhores, como ouviram do nosso capitão, estamos iniciando nossa descida para Porto Alegre.
Willkommen in München.
Use power of AI to make your cabin crew announcements more realistic in your choice of flight simulators, be it Microsoft Flight Sim or indeed X-Plane. What? So, a one-time purchase, $35, or you can get the Pro subscription for $15 a month, right? Marketplace voices. Let me see, you won't be able to use voices from user marketplaces. It doesn't have premium voices and it doesn't have custom voices. So you're getting kind of premium stuff when you sign up to go premium. I need to try this, but dynamic AI announcements, unlimited flights, SimBrief integration, Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane integration, configurable cabin crew names, you can call them, here's the cabin Egypts, configurable captain name, Captain Bonafide Banana, configurable airline name, FireFly, two flight languages, change your flight languages, marketplace voices, premium voices, and the lot. As I have a sup of me holy water. What do we think, lads? Realistic AI generated announcements. Announcements generated by Cabby contains realistic flight information, like your origin and destination city, your flight time, current weather information. Cabby requires SimBrief integration to get that information. Okay. Custom voices. Wouldn't it be great now if you can get... I did this earlier on. Will this work on this screen? Man, this mightn't work on this screen. Cyrus T! Tier 2 Madu, thank you very, very much indeed, Cyrus. You absolute legend. Now, how do I do this again? What's it called? Oh, yeah. You have to bear with me now, lads, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. How do I... Oh, yeah. Wait, why isn't that working? Oh, it's loading. Right, give it a second. I've seen the demo and it looks quite good. Right? I'd love to get different voices on it. So that's the overview and then the features.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Flying Art is proud to present to you the latest project that combines a passion for virtual Polish Airlines Boeing 737. Imagine that this is a chartered flight for the German football team. We can change the secondary language to German. Cabby currently supports 7 languages. All voices you will hear in this example are generated using the voice of a real person.
That's deadly.
Welcome aboard on this LOT Polish Airlines flight from Warsaw to London. Willkommen an Bord dieses LOT Polish Airlines Fluges von Warschau nach London. Bienvenido a bordo de este vuelo de LOT Polish Airlines desde Varsovia a Londres. Witamy na pokładzie polskich linii lotniczych LOT z Warszawy do Londynu. Bienvenue à bord de ce vol.
You see, these are the things that we want to hear. And I mean, if I could do voices, I mean, you belong, he had decisions to make. He was right about the release date. I just saw Flight Simulator. Is this cause?
I need to work on that a bit better, but yes, right, I can change my voice. That's what AI can do. And, well, friends, don't switch. This thing looks pretty cool. But yeah, it's another kind of subscription thing, $15 a month, or you can just buy for the free version, right? Gibbo's scared, right? Right? Start ringing up people. I like that. I kind of like that. So the cabin announcements. Right, now, A320, let's be having you. A320. And we're going to go in the Phoenix, I suppose. And we're going to go with a FireFly Air. And we'll start off probably at, Shannon. We won't go with that. We'll go with the Innie Bills. We'll go with the Innie Bills, version 2. There you go. And we'll go in Shannon, because we want to have a look at some of the effects, don't we? So we should be able to start this on the runway without much consequence, right? Lock and load, good to see you, man. Ailerons into wind is here. I joined to see Gibbo was right. Who lost the bet? Gibbo was right. I'm going to get that tattooed now as well. You know what I mean? Right? I have too many toys. I have far too many toys. Milwaukee by Innie Bills is free. It is IBOC. It was always free. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Gibbo. I'll press that button again. While the sim is loading, the pricing is actually a lot more. Hang on a second. Now let's have a look. Rich now sim for the minute. Go into pricing, right? Now, hang on a second. Feel free to contact us at any time. It's very nice of them. Go back to the pricing. The submodel is on top of the... Oh, hang on. The submodel is on top of the base. Pricing. Simple and clear pricing. It's thinking about it. I can the pain in your voice just saying that. Oh, you can hear the pain in my voice. Sounds like a big mistake, right? I wish there was headphone mode for rain on a caravan roof. Oh, dude, really? Nothing worse, man. Nothing worse. Yeah, the pricing doesn't want to appear. Look, that's hilarious, isn't it? It's generating your best price with AI. What is... Oh, here it is. For most advanced users, so hang on. Best if you want to try the app before committing to a subscription, or pro subscription. So this means you got to buy the thing for $35 and then you pay $14.76 on top of that per month. That's nuts. Isn't it? That's nuts. Okay, well, a one-off price, that gets you in, and then it's $14.76 a month afterwards. Jesus. That's a bit heavy, lads, isn't it? A little bit heavy. Right, now, where are we at? We're over here. So, oh, Jesus, just been playing Taxion. So, how do I get this working now? You'll have to just put up now with a level of Muppet that's me, lads, right? Now, if I did this correctly, SimEffects should already have this located, we hope, right? Now, let's see what happens. The aircraft is encrypted, some effects might be missing. Hang on. Did we not just put in A320 immersion has been installed? Okay. Maybe this wasn't the best one to put in. Contrails, engine, oh yeah, it's all on. So immersion, oh look, okay, right, okay. These are the immersion packages. So contrails, default, off, or immersion. Put them on full whack there, and high quality, please. Right, immersion, high, always on. Engine chine vortices, why not? Immersion, yes, on, high. Immersion, high. Realistic condensation. Horse, always on, because we just want to look at the stuff, yeah? Engine ingest on, high. Engine pollution, just SimEffects, fair enough. Heat blur, high. Temperature, very high. Scale, medium, okay. Thrust on dirt, that's just SimEffects as normal. Rain. St. Elmo's fire. High. Realistic or always. Cool. I'm cranking all of this up just to see how it all looks. Do you know what I mean? Wastewater drain. No way. Put it on high. Water droplets. That's ridiculous. Visibility always on. Scale huge. Cloud illumination. High. Smoke from the brakes. Yes. Skid marks. High. Touchdown smoke. Leave it on SimEffects. Water landing SimEffects. Wings. Cloud effects. Put them on high. Ground wash is okay. Wing condensation. High. And wing vortices. High. Jesus, you have a lot of options there. There's no changes to the environment, I'd say. No. Okay, we've cranked it all up to high. Let's see what we can see, shall we? Predict 30 FPS? Maybe. Right, okay, so as it stands, we can see nothing. So let's put in a little bit of mad weather, I suppose. Oh, look at that already. Now, it's exaggerating them, lads. It's exaggerating things, so don't lose your... You know what I mean? It's exaggerating stuff here. So this is condensation coming off the wings. Alright? Let's have a look, let's have a look. Okay, I'm about to drop me controller. Don't worry, lads, I've picked it up again. Oh, me spine! Right, let's mess here for a minute. Right, give us lots of rain. Right, now, let's see what the thing is going to show off, right? So we're looking at the engine. Okay. Hide me for a minute. That's cool looking. Okay, so what are we looking at exactly, right? The lights aren't helping the matter. Get rid of the lights for a minute. Let's see here now. Okay. It works with the Phoenix, yeah, it works with the Phoenix. So you can see the details already, right? So let's look at, like, you know, wing vortices and all this stuff as well, right? So I think let's just fly it, right? Let's see what happens. See that stuff on the screen? Now again, I've turned everything on all the time just to see what it looks like, right? So that's that St. Elmo's something or other. That's mad looking. Now don't worry that it's flashing now. I've everything turned on just to show you. Do you know what I mean? So let's look at the external as we take off. See those effects? Look at the state of this. So imagine if you play around with the weather a little bit, it'll change things, wouldn't it? Alright, let's see what it's doing here now. Make it humid. Everything looks kind of normal. So you do have this mad Elmo thingy on the main screen. That's nice. Are we going like full humidity? Am I missing something? So you can certainly see them on the ground, but up here doesn't seem to be doing much. We do have that mad, with the mad flashing yoke. Now what was this called? Heat blur is there. St. Elmo's fire, so we'll put it on and leave it on realistic. So, wastewater drain. Wastewater drain refers to visual effect of water dripping from the wastewater with SimEffects, dramatically generated varying appearance based on factors like the amount of water in the tanks, the altitude and speed of the aircraft. It typically happens about once every hour. Okay. Wet aircraft to have the water droplets. Put it on dynamic and realistic. Lighting. So, cloud animation or cloud lighting. Let's check out this one. Okay, so we want all our lights on, don't we? Alright, don't mind the alarms for a minute. Oh yeah, look at the strobes doing the thing, look. Oh, that's nice. Look at that, lads. So, like, they're properly hitting the clouds. Yeah, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? That's nice. Okay, that's the lighting. That is very nice, isn't it? That's very good. Now we're getting some contrails on the wings. Nice. Or not contrails, vortices. Oh yeah, look at that. That's deadly looking. Look at that. Oh yes. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? There's a whole load of stuff going on. That's really nice, isn't it? Stop pressing buttons. Look at that! Condensation. Look at that! Now granted, don't forget lads, I have everything turned on full whack, yeah? So like we can edit this down, it wouldn't be as, it doesn't have to be as powerful. So what's this cloud? That's not cloud effect now. That's something else. Engine condensation, heat blur, thrust, water droplets, clouds. Cloud effects. Wing condensation. Medium. Dynamic. Wing vortices. It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, we have it here. Look at the detail, look. Can we see any vortices? How do you stall an Airbus? You're not supposed to. I'll stall it. No, the plane is recovering. It has it has detected an Aegis. What's it like when you go through the clouds? Let's find out. Let's find out. There's a bit more cloud there, Sim. So we're about to go through the clouds from the cockpit. Oh yeah, look at that. Ah lads, did you not just see what we just saw? Did you see that? Do it again, do it again. Look at this crack. Yep. Oh, that's very nice, isn't it? Now, what about contrails and all that jazz? Right. Surely to Jesus, we'll be getting contrails. Here they are. They're starting to appear now behind us, look. Oh, yeah, they're beautiful. That's really nice. What do you think, lads? Isn't it pretty? Very, very pretty. Okay, so SimEffects out with the new A320 immersion pack. I think it's nice, lads. Wing view in the cloud. You gotcha. There's weird reflections. We'll go this side. Ah, Jesus. Hang on. Look at the detail there. Like, it's all just... I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Look at that. Look at the state of the transition, lads. It's beautiful, isn't it? They've done a great job. And I can't fly this plane at all. Brilliant stuff. Really, really nice. So, lads, next up, we are talking Flight Sim 2024. And just bear with me now as I get ourselves situated. So we saw trailers release, right? And I have the trailers here. I have the videos. We're going to look at the videos. And well, we have some notes on these now as well, right? Jeez, we covered a fair bit already, didn't we? And installed. So, the first trailer that we saw... do I have audio on this? Yeah, we have audio. The first trailer that we saw was last year. And it's a bit kind of mad to think, the first trailer we saw was last year. And when it comes to what's happening in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator and some of the features that we were looking for as well, we saw this trailer. And this is the first trailer. We'll play this, right? Don't necessarily need music. I'll be skipping ahead and having a look. And this is Flight Sim 2024. And the heading of this, of course, pursue your career in aviation. And it's all about missions, yeah? So this is what they went for. We saw all of this and we're like, holy crap, look at all of this. And we saw some new aircraft, we saw sharper textures, we saw all these kind of scenarios, if you like, with how the sim is going to be presented as the next iteration of Microsoft Flight Sim, right? And there's no two ways about it. It looks incredible. It really, really looks nice. And, you know, my understanding, even to this moment, is this is a brand new simulator, but they've only shared with us the career aspect, right? Now, I'll go back through all these trailers. We'll have a look to see what's happening and what we can identify. But this is the general kind of taster to say, okay, look, they're bringing all new types of flying to the next genre, or to the genre. And this is okay, this looks nice. You know, there's all of this, which is nice with the aircraft and the scenarios. Then the weather was also included. We saw things like tornadoes and like real cool looking stuff. And of course, the eagle eye, and you know, you're going to see higher resolution ground textures, all that sort of stuff, right? So it looks very, very impressive. But we were kind of left scratching our head. You know, what's actually coming out in this sim? Is it just another version of Reno Air Races, but, you know, times 12? As in, okay, you'll have glider pilot missions, you'll have this scientific pilot mission, you'll have air ambulance, you'll have experimental stuff, low altitude. Like, are these all like a bunch of missions that you just go in and you fly and that's it? Well, yes and no, right? Because that's the first trailer. Here's the newest trailer, and this was shown just the other day. It was shown on the 9th of June, and we're going to take our time with this now, right? It states it's in-game footage. So it's within the engine that Asobo have made. And we're looking at all the different scenes and, okay, what can we identify here? Well, first and foremost, you know, what a beautiful scene. And there's stuff going on here in the foreground. It's extremely sharp. Very, very sharp, right? And this sort of atmospheric scattering that you can see, you know, you don't necessarily have that weird horizon line going through the scenery. You probably do, but that lighting, you can't really see it. Looks very, very good, right? So this is a great, like, oh Jesus, yeah, this looks nice. And the grass, and you can see flowers and all this. And again, the lighting is just doing a better job. The lighting is, it looks a little bit kind of tuned and tweaked. And the ground imagery definitely there. Now, the Red Bull Air Race, and it's branded Red Bull Air Race. The first trailer was just, you know, air racing. This is branded from Red Bull. And again, you know, I'm trying to figure out, is that weird horizon line there that we currently have? It doesn't appear to be. There's a cloud layer there. The friggin' smoke looks absolutely incredible, doesn't it? Look at that shot there, like. And again, it's all to do with how, get the weather right, get the lighting right, and sure, the thing looks like a painting, do you know? That looks really, really nice there. And again, it's the detail on the ground. Now, I don't know, is that a case because they're going to be, you know, there's going to be a race there, right? Is that a scenery? Or is this what we can expect the vast majority now of the world to look like? Who knows? Here we have an airport scene. It's quite a busy airport scene. And what I thought was cool here, we have branding. And yes, we can all see United, and we can also see KLM. But if you go into the old eagle eye, and if you scroll down here, you'll have to excuse my primitive ways of using stuff. There's a British Airways gadget over here, look. Anyone notice that? So that's British Airways branding in the trailer. Very, very nice. Yes, we can see it's British Airways. Yes, very good. Other things we can see in the shot as well. That's United, KLM, there's a ton of KLM stuff. But the British Airways one I thought was a nice little, oh Jesus, look, it's British Airways. I thought that was interesting. I didn't notice anyone else now in this one. But look at this scene, right? Okay, from a default airport, or is a default, but we don't really know. There's a lot of stuff. The ground clutter. We got brand new vehicles. Look, brand new vehicles, and the aircraft themselves, anywhere from 787s to 777s. Because, well, are they 777s? They look like 777s. But yeah, what are they 777s, lads? They look like them. I could be very wrong. That's definitely a 78. Because people were saying, oh, we didn't see any Boeings in it. There's plenty of Boeings in it. Just gotta go looking. I'm almost certain that's a 777. Almost certain. Anyway, we play on the video. Fish now. Play on the video. And now you have this sort of crack. So you're looking at, okay, the models, they've been updated. They look a little bit better. And, you know, some people are speculating, you know, is there like this walk around mode? I don't know. I mean, We've seen an add-on created already that you can actually jump outside the aircraft and walk around it. And it would be pretty cool to have your own avatar. Your own avatar, that's your pilot, that's your career, and now you can actually get around and look around. Because a complaint, or not complaint, well, it was a complaint. A lot of people weren't mad on the whole, drone camera. There was no way to kind of go around and explore the aircraft, right? So, okay, here's a person walking out to an aircraft. And again, we're looking at detailing here. You can see, it's an A330. It says A330, right? It says Airbus, so it's branded by Airbus and has a General Electric or a CF engine on it as well. 2 variants, perhaps. Now, didn't Aerosoft say they were doing that? But also, I think Builds. This look at the detail in here, look. Looking onto the main dash, again, it looks very polished, highly detailed. I was talking about GSX earlier on. What's the future of GSX going to be? It's Builds. You can tell from the EFB. Grand, okay. But look at this. Are we GSX? Is that going to be like a base feature? Don't know. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, see, you lads see things that I don't. Yeah, okay, 100%. That's the innie kind of. That's the innie thing, isn't it? I mean, it looks fairly detailed. Let's zoom in here and learn what it's not telling us. So they never put in their speeds, and they're not configured for takeoff. And yeah, it's grand. Let's just hop in and go, says you. Any others? No. There's also another livery out here if you look at it. And again, I don't know, is that part of the sim? But who's the yellow livery people? Spirit, isn't it? And it looks like another type of Airbus down here, or even an Embraer. And looking at the city, well, your guess is as good as mine. Anyone know the city where this is? And there's definitely photogrammetry because, well, it's photogrammetry, but if you look at it, it's not giving you the weird pyramid stuff that we're used to seeing. A lot of the time you'll see pyramids, Looks like Spirit, doesn't it? It is Spirit. So there's another livery included. Spirit are in it, yeah? And again, look at that photogrammetry here in the background. It's not the usual triangle-y stuff. It kind of is in places, but by and large, it looks better, right? Now, they're talking about, the career in aviation. And here, yes, we do have a Pilatus PC-12. It is terribly similar to that of what I've seen from Carenado. And we know Carenado were making the stuff, yeah? Go back there a little bit now. I wanted to have a look at something here. There was a road texture I thought was interesting. Because, I'll get into I'll get into the whole texturing and what they're doing and how they're doing it now in a second. I thought it was like mad looking, hang on there now, we speed on. So there's roads here. That's out in Australia, right? And you see the roads and they all look grand and it's all, play a bit of background music here, Murph, just to keep us going. So, there are roads there, and looking at the textures, well, they don't look what they do currently in the current build of FlightSim. There appears to be more detail. That's kind of what I'm getting on out here. Especially when you get closer to the airport. Okay, you can see these lines here, but look at the grass. Look at the trees. So they've added in a ton of new trees. They've new rendering, which is nothing new. And again, I don't know how to take any of the missions, because are these going to be cutscenes? Are they going to be something that you're involved with? Is there a consequence for what you're actually doing? I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? I'm thinking this is Carenado. It may not be, but you'll notice how quiet Carenado have been, when it comes to aircraft. This thing looks absolutely mad. So the X-Cub is there, right? And Skyrocket Media, right? But look what they're doing here. They're towing an advertisement, and look at Jesus, this is unbelievable. Now, if you look closely on this, you'll see you have weird photogrammetry doing photogrammetry things. Okay. But if you look at the detail, the grass is very, very different. You still have some of the weirdness, but they have little flowers and all this sort of jazz. But look at the detail in here. Isn't that mad looking? And from this shot, again, we're looking at things like the grass, and you can kind of see the ugly head of photogrammetry persistent in FlightSim 2024. Look at It looks okay-ish when you're far away from it, but you start zooming in, you start getting up close to this, it's where we're at today, lads. I mean, it's only as good as the data. They're not going to replace all the data overnight, especially for photogrammetry. But you can definitely see a change with the trees. Loads of different species being added. And look at the grass. Highly detailed. So it looks nice. Looks very, very nice. And then we have this. Look at the state of that. You know what I mean? The first message that Murph toes is Gibber was right. Yeah, Gibber was right. Yeah, well done, lads. Yeah, brilliant. Right? What are we looking at here? So at the beach. Where is this, lads? This Fort Lauderdale? Miami, maybe? So we can see water masking is done fairly well down at the beach, right? Again, you can see this photogrammetry and the limitations of what is rendered right or what isn't, right? Will they block profanities on this like they do tail numbers? They could do. I imagine they will. If they do it on tail numbers, they'll do it on that. Again, you could probably replicate this scene. Obviously, you wouldn't have that sort of detailing with the banner, but you can replicate that scene currently. You know, there's no change to the cloud that I can see. A lot of people talk about clouds and different type of clouds. There's no change to the cloud here. There's an FBO here, and Atlantic is on it. So again, there's custom scenery being used. We know FlightSafe are bringing out the Vision Jet. You have this mad dude, and he's walking out, and I don't know what to expect from the career mode. I'm sure you'll start off somewhere. That looks like Nico. You'll start off somewhere. And you know, do you progress? Is it like a point system? That you know you're a level 1 pilot and you got to progress and go on and go on and go on. I haven't a clue. But I have to say the Vision Jet is looking really, really nice. It looks stunning. And again, this lighting, this scattering, and the details of the mountains I thought were absolutely incredible. Very, very well detailed, right? This scene it just blows me away because it looks incredible. So the clouds are there's nothing in the sky that I can see here that's like, you know, wow. However, it's the ground texturing and scenery here looks incredible. Even your one's hair, for God's sake. So trees, that it looks weird. It looks like it's the old kind of X-plane straightforward 2D textures wrapped around each other. Only guessing. But this looks very, very nice. So again, can you walk out? Will there be a walk around mode? Who knows? This was also very interesting because it shows you movement on grass. And we've seen this already when it came to DCS. Rotors affect the movement of grass and all this sort of jazz. But look at this, look. Like, that's incredible looking. Now, is this going to be only some of these fields are going to be animated like this? Probably, right? They're not going to do the whole world in this. So maybe it's a case that some of the fields on these types of missions are animated like this. You know, there's one here, there's another one over there, there's no, you know, there'll be different areas that you have to go off and do your thing. And you can see those trees there, they just look a little bit 2D, as in a flat, and then they're, you know, they're put in boxes around it. Again, nothing new with the clouds. The water has changed a bit. There's new detail, it looks a bit deeper, and there's better wave animation from what I can see. And, you know, again, that's just the scenery of you know, a ship underwater. And water going over it. There's no depth. We can't see underwater. I don't think that's going to change, but you know, it looks better. You know, that scene was just like, holy crap! If they get that working, it'd be amazing. And again, like, there's no markings here for search and rescue or US Coast Guard or any of that sort of jazz. But it looks good. The boat bobbing and waving in it. You know, like that's what kind of tells me you can't see through the water. It's not transparent. It's water. You know what I mean? And there's plenty to see here, and it's a very dramatic scene, don't get me wrong. And, you know, the ropes and everything's looking sharper. You've SAR written on the side of that boat. You know, helicopter cargo missions. So, again, you're looking at the buildings. These are 3D rendered. There's 3D rendered buildings here in some cities. That's not all photogrammetry. They're 3D rendered. So, again, this might be to do with some sceneries, and, you know, you got to land it on, you got to drop your cargo on a building, but the building just happens to be 3D rendered. Because we know photogrammetry, like a lot of photogrammetry buildings, you can't get next to near. And looking at this scene, this one here, the grey building, that's 3D. The one beside it, that's photogrammetry. The ones behind it, they're photogrammetry. You know what I mean? Looks very, very good though. You know, got the people there. And even what I thought down here looked very well in the city with all the trees. The layout seems to be a little bit better. Remember Vegas, when we first checked out Vegas in the sim? God almighty. This is one of my favourite scenes, showing the Airbus A400. And it's something about the lighting in this kind of caught me. Because you can't replicate this lighting scene at the moment. So maybe they've done something with the lighting. Again, you can see all the water masking looks good. The texturing looks great. The mountains look a bit more present on it. There's even a nice reflection there in the on that screen going across. And we'll jump back there a little bit. Look at the reflection on the glass here at the front. Look, it's not as blown out as the current one is. You know, they still look melted, the photogrammetry ones. Yeah, they absolutely do. They absolutely do. This, again, we've landed at this place. We've landed at this airport, and it's a good kind of a demo to show you the different types of trees, right? Palm tree, like all the different types of species of trees that they've added, and well, it looks nice. And we can also see there's water now present on the terrain. Now, is that a global feature? X-Plane has it, but is that a global feature? I really hope it is. I really hope it is. From this scene here, again, you're on the grass. There's no real detail on the grass that I could see, but it still looks very, very nice, right? I mean, that looks beautiful. I think Indie Bills are making that one as well, aren't they? Feeder Wolf, good to see you. Now, the water animations on this thing is absolutely incredible. Like, look at the state of it. Aerial firefighting. So you can do water bombing. And, like, just look at the trees, lads. Look at the, like, they're 3D. They're no longer the weird meshed kind of mad looking thing. These are proper 3D trees. And they look absolutely incredible, right? They just look incredible. The same crack here, you've all sorts of smoke, but I know that maybe the rotors aren't doing anything, so like maybe there is scope here for SimEffects, you know? This blew me away completely. So I think this is down at Yosemite. And look at the, if you were to go to Yosemite right now in the sim and find this location, someone already put it up on our Discord. Like, unbelievable the difference here. And look at the trees. They're straight out of X-Plane, if you ask me. It's the same idea. They're using these 3D trees, and if you get further and further away from them, then they kind of transition into like what we currently have. That's how to do it, right? But look at the mountains. The level of detail here is staggering. Look at the leaves down here. Look at behind my mallet head. Look at the friggin' leaves down here, lads. What? That's a scene out of a game. That's like its own little mission or something. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely bananas. Right, driving on there now. Here you're looking at grass. Now, I don't know, is that a livery on the aircraft with dirt? Let's see now, let's see. So, if you look very closely at this scene, can I slow this down? Can I go slow motion? Jump forward, jump back. Speed. Faster, slower, slower. Speed. Payback. Speed. Slower. Right. Look closely at that scene. Do you see the muck and dirt getting kicked up? What does that tell you? That tells you that, I forget the name of it. It's like tessellation or something. It means that you will have tracks going through soft terrain. Snow, mud, water, right? It leaves tracks. Think of like Red Dead Redemption with the, you know, your horse prints, footprints, that sort of jazz. My hand, that sort of jazz. That's what that looks like. Now, we've seen that some aircraft developers will actually animate dirt going on their plane, God friends. You know, if you hit it and then if you put it into water, it cleans up. That's pretty cool. But I thought that was staggering. And it's a very small detail you usually you wouldn't see. But there is a ton of dirt getting kicked up. Tesla-lation. Then we have this kind of a weird camera filter. And it looks very much drone camera-esque because it's how you move around, right? But again, look at the detail of the grass. Look at the detail of the 3D trees. And like, hello. Hello. Look at everything. If this is a scene, if this is like within a boxed off small little scenery, so be it. I mean, it still looks incredible. But if this is out in the open world, if this is this procedural generation that it says, there's trees here, grand, I'm going to start rendering trees. Wait, there should be wildlife here? Yeah, I'll put in some wildlife here. Is that where this thing is going to get us to? Incredible. And Paris, I was blown away by Paris because it looks like they're using new-ish data for Paris. Now again, you have the same weird kind of, you know, melted candle wax when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? But overall, Paris looks absolutely incredible, doesn't it? Flame animation there out of that. Over to Dubai. The water doesn't appear to be anything new. It looks nice, don't get me wrong. The buildings, they're default buildings for the most part. That's custom. They're custom. You got a ship way off in the background. Nothing new there. There's no changes to the assets that I can see in terms of the buildings or the lighting. Everything looks about the same, except until we got to this scene here. This is completely revamped, and the lighting around Rio it's incredible looking. This is incredible looking. Look at the lighting. It's so much more pronounced, I thought, on that scene. You know? I have it on there now. And again, you're looking at the trees. It's all trees. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? I don't see anything new with the clouds. The lighting here, look at this. Gators there, the trees. That's a Twin Otter aircraft, right? In a livery that's already released by Aerosoft. And don't forget, Aerosoft said, don't worry, you know, those who bought it, you'll still get to keep it. So, you know. Now, glider flying in the sim, it's great, and getting towed, it's grand, and it's all the jazz. Wonderful. But look at the state of the detailing and the lighting on this scene. The trees look incredible. They just do. They look incredible. But the mountains, look at the detail, and look at that mesh. Look at the resolution. That's like photograph. That's picture postcard kind of stuff. It looks incredible. This one here as well, heading out to the lighthouse. And again, this is moving fairly fast. Again, right? Slow it down there now. Can we go slow motion? Speed. Slower. Right. It's now going slower, right? The mountain is photogrammetry. I don't know. Like, look at the detail here. So we got plenty of reflections. Again, the water isn't transparent. At least I don't think it is. Otherwise, you'd see some of the cliff underneath it. It's just that's the cavalry, so we know that's there. This is a mad scene. So they're in the A10, I think, or maybe it's an F18. That looks like an F18. And the bridge. And look at the colors of trees. Here, you're getting an idea of the seasons. Yeah. Look at the colors. So that's an A10, but this guy's in an F18. And look, you have some effects here. Look at the vortices coming off the wing. This is another mad looking scene. Again, look at the trees. They're incredible, right? And the lighting, see, everything here seems to be bang on. I need to get more details where Microsoft are at when it comes to their multiplayer. Because, I mean, you see aircraft flying along like this, you're saying to yourself, yeah, man, I want to fly with my friends. Which we all know what way the multiplayer experience has been in the sim. Just not great at all. But this is another great scene. Again, look at the ground textures. Look at the detail on the friggin' ground. Cactus, you've all, like there's insane detail on the ground. Insane. From this scene here, we're in the aircraft. We knew we had water effects on the windscreen. That's nothing new. But it's just how it's, I don't know, is it the lighting they've changed? It's not as blown out. There's like steam, there's clouds, there's the trees. Visually, this is looking incredible. And this is kind of where I want to weigh in on, because based on what we learned last year at Expo, and what the lads told us, right? Oh, look at the state, right? The state of it. Look at that, look. Like, that is just incredible. Now, who on earth actually flies the Optica? Tell me. Like, why is that in there? It's the weirdest of all looking aircraft. And then they saved the piece of resistance towards the end. Look at the reflection you're getting off the moon even. Very, very powerful. The Aurora Borealis, and they have the southern ones as well. That looks incredible. You're saying cirrus clouds. Are they cirrus clouds, though? Cirrus clouds are usually very, very thin and at a very, very high altitude. Are they cirrus clouds up on the top? Group balloon flight? I'm telling you. The lightning looks better. It just does. That's like, you know what I mean? And the Auroras look very, very good. Don't forget, lads, it was Jepson who first made those. Parallel 42 have them with SimEffects. Now it looks Microsoft have put them in proper. So it looks amazing. There's no two ways about it. It looks absolutely fantastic. What do we know about it? Well, the discussion that was had last year over at Sim Expo, it wasn't just about, the season mode. And I think this is what we need to focus on. My understanding, I could be very wrong, my understanding and my hope is Sim 2024 will be as what we've known to love about Microsoft Flight Sim, with additional features. So it's not going to change the sim. I don't think they're going to take anything away from it to give us a worse experience, depending on the bugs, right? So their aviation activity system. This was what they chatted about over at Flight Sim Expo last year. They were talking about the focus point is aviation activity. And if we have a look at this, I mean, this is all from Expo last year, right? They're talking about aerial firefighting, crop dusting, industrial cargo, glider work, scientific work, VIP work, low altitude airstrips, air racing, all the jazz. So choose your pilot lifestyle, true to real world aviation and what people around the world actually do with aircraft, right? What would you say to those who made the trailer, Murph? It's a great trailer. Like, I mean, it's incredible, cinematic work. It's incredible. And the music has always been phenomenal, do you know? We'll skip ahead here, just get to the next slide. Focus 2, core sim and technology. This is their second focal point. Okay, what are you going for? Well, let's have a look. They talk about a thin client. Now, Seb went on explaining, and again, he chatted to me in Gibbo, well, we kind of cornered him, having a few pints, and he was saying that data transfer is so much faster, through the internet than it is on mechanical hardware. It's just faster, it moves faster, right? So the client, what they want to do, the idea was they want to put more data on the cloud. Therefore, you only need what you need when you need it. That's the idea. So why did they go with this? Well, only download what's needed, cached on the hard drive, reduced footprint on hard drives and internet usage, reduced installation and loading times, helps keep the minimum specs low. So we're all asking to say, hey, what do we need? What specification of PC do we need to be able to get this thing up and running? Well, that's why they're doing this. Then they talk about backwards compatible community folder is still there. So they've already said all this. So, if we've forgotten, they've already said that's what they're working on, right? Now, jumping ahead, new physics and aerodynamics engine. So they say all the things and then they get, we're also going to add a whole load of stuff. Now, this is where the thing gets a little bit awkward for third-party developers, because new physics are grand. New aerodynamics, a new engine, not so grand. Because, well, if you're an aircraft developer, you now got to go back to your aircraft and you need to tweak the numbers. You just do, right? It gives aircraft creators extreme control. Can you elaborate on that? Massive performance improvements. In what regards? Rigid and soft bodies. I'm liking that. Tissues and ropes. And then easy authoring and backwards compatible. So this slide to me is saying, their SDK is going to be way more powerful, easier to use, and it's focused on backward compatibility. That's what they're saying. All right. So we'll jump ahead. So the flight model stuff, balloon physics, it looks impressive. Balloon physics, if that's what you want. The systems. Now, we already know what the systems working title are doing a ton load of work. But as so we're saying, they're going to work on electrical, pneumatic, fuel, hydraulic. They want failures with wear and tear, payload and passengers, deeper and wider avionics packages, and a cockpit tablet by default. Who knows what tablet that's going to be? We just don't know. Focus number 3 is the digital twin. By digital twin, they're talking about the world, right? And as you can see from this scene here, it's, somewhere out in the Grand Canyon maybe, and you got a couple of A10s. We know DC Designs are the guys making these. This is where it was very, very interesting. So they were saying, look, the current data being read from, the sim is saying, okay, these are mountains. It has to be this texture. Match it up with this bit of a satellite. Are there trees? Yeah, paste in a couple of trees and away we go. What they're moving on with this is they're using this new kind of, I forget the name of it, but this new tech anyway, it'll detect to say, there's different surfaces here. Now we're going to put in our new trees, or now we're going to put in, our new assets like, rocks or water bodies, whatever. And this is what makes the whole thing interesting, because it seems to be a way of adding in way more detail into default areas, right? Into default areas. Hot air balloon trips again, animals, faunas. We all saw the trailer of Microsoft Flight Sim back in 2020, right? We all saw it. And some of the features just didn't come in. Improved ground details. 3D tessellated ground materials. Tracks, yeah? Enhanced tree diversity and improved cliffs. Full seasons, tornadoes, storms, and the aurora borealis. That's what's coming. Animal herds and migration, accurate live air traffic, improved vehicle traffic, worldwide live ship traffic. Now, right, I think these 4 things somewhat failed for Flight Sim 2020, because they're all, Flight Sim 2020 was designed to do all of these things. It didn't do it right. The vehicle traffic is crap. It's horrendous. The models, there's no logic to them. A little bit, they drive in the right side of the road or whatever, but the lighting is bad. They look bad. And it's just bad, right? Animals, a lot of the time it's only one animal. So where do the rest of them go? It's weird looking. The ship traffic wasn't good. That's why we have so many third-party ones. And then the accurate live air traffic, I mean, yes and no. If you want accurate live air traffic, I mean, how much are they going to put in there? And you can't interact with it. There's no point just having them there if you can't interact with it. It becomes an obstruction. It becomes a distraction. If you're going to have live air traffic in there, you need to be able to, exist within that space. Don't take off as a plane is landing in. You need to be part of the scenery, I suppose, rather than just being, you're in it. You need to be part of it. Do you know what I mean? So with that said, and all the information, and we know now that Microsoft are going to be talking at Flight Sim Expo, they're going to be talking at Flight Sim Expo about more things that are coming in. Well, I wanted to show you this thing here. This is all to do with tessellation, right? Advanced tessellation for stuff. And this isn't what Microsoft is using. I just wanted to show you this as an example. Where Microsoft has at the moment, they don't use this level of tessellation. They just don't use it. So it's just giving it an example. You look on the left-hand side of the screen, that's kind of, a universal neck of the woods that they're in. If you look at what's possible, lads, look at the difference between the two. And this is what I think Asobo have cooked into the newest Flight Sim. I think they've managed to add this feature in there, or at least that's what I hope, because at the moment, if you taxi on, through the mud or whatever, or sand, well, there's nothing, right? They've now said you can do that, so it means they've gone this neck of the woods when it comes to the tessellation. Look at the difference. Look at the difference, right? It's staggering. This one here on ground, on terrain. That's what we're used to seeing in Microsoft Flight Sim. If you can't see it there, look, that's what we're used to seeing. It's almost like a 2D kind of we can see the textures, but there's no depth to them, yeah? This is what we could be potentially looking at based on a tessellation shader. I mean, look, you can see the difference, right? It's night and day in the difference. So this is what the technology does. I mean, that's the game changer element it puts in to the visuals. Yeah, it's very much 2D at the moment in Microsoft Flight Sim. The current build, the newer build, well, they've spoken about tessellation. This is the road they're going, or the route that they're going. Isn't that something? And they're using machine learning. And again, we kind of said this at the start. Microsoft Flight Sim, it was never intended, the technology behind it was never intended just to be a flight simulator. It's all about world creation, building worlds, building sceneries, graphics. Do you know what I mean? And the technology involved in it is absolutely, absolutely incredible. Now, I will draw our eyes here quickly. Where's this now? Long press to keep going, frame ahead. Thanks, Gibbo. Fair dues, yeah. We had mentioned before a wish list. And I'm going to bring this up because I hid it on our Discord for a while because I wanted to see if any of this would change, right? So, Gibble put together this question we had on our Discord, and it was like, out of curiosity, what features do we want to see in the new Sim? So, Gibbo mentioned he'd like to see a less cartoony look. Now, I don't know, it'd be interesting to hear from Gibbo. Are you getting, Gibbo, are you getting that feel that, yes, it's looking less cartoony, or maybe it's looking more cartoony? I couldn't tell you. London Controller, good to see you. Not long now. I'm not counting down the minutes or anything, but I'm counting down the minutes. You know what I mean? Great to see you, Jamie. Hope you're well. Faster and more efficient install. So, they're telling us they're going to have faster loading. Well, kind of. They want more efficient loading. That's what they're after, right? Better multiplayer. They haven't told us anything yet about multiplayer at all. And like, if you go onto the Microsoft Flight Sim forums and you look at the bug tracker and you'll see multiplayer aircraft disappearing. And then when you see the devs put out their update and, what's fixed, they're telling us multiplayer is fixed. It's not fixed. It's better, but it's not fixed. You know what I mean? Visual effects such as smoke, tire marks. So smoke, don't know about smoke. Tire marks, yes. Skidding, don't know. Engine heat, water splashes. I think there's a lot of them coming into the fray. Don't know anything about a chase cam, right? Or chase plane for that matter. On the fly updating community folder, they haven't gone into that. These are questions we're going to be hitting them. A refund system for purchases, that has to be some sort of an idea in there. Model matching is kind of happening, but that's for AI aircraft. Rating systems, again, for the marketplace. Let's hope they're adding all this stuff in. Auto scenery that doesn't look melted. Again, that's going to come down to the photogrammetry that we have. And even on the trailers we've shown tonight, some of the photogrammetry, it still gives you that melted look. FBOs added, so we've seen that on the trailer. We saw Atlantic FBO in one of the sceneries, but I think that's going to be up for the third-party scenery developers. Performance improvements with faster loading and everything starting with proper multi-core support. We're hoping for that. And proper inbuilt ATC AI. There's no mention of ATC in any of this. Yeah, the marketplace team, they're doing a presentation on day 2. They're doing it on Sunday. And they're going to be talking about the current marketplace, and then they're going to be talking to people about the upcoming marketplace. So yeah, we'd be annoying the Jesus out of them. Now, some of the other ones coming in, ability to save current weather as a preset. That's a request of old, but again, not addressed or not spoken of. Better blending of hard edge satellite data. Again, nothing really there. It looks nice, but there's nothing there. Better rivers and streams. Well, they said they're working on cliffs, and what we've seen with the water and the water masking definitely looks better, right? Railways, no mention of railways. Better multiplayer, it's not really there. Better helicopter physics, they're now in. Again, more talk in the marketplace. Servers, multiplayer servers that are fit for multiplayer and the download experiences. How has everyone's download stuff been happening over the last little while? Is it still bad, or is it getting better? Your downloading experience, when there's an update, I have to say the last one was quite good. Like everything installed relatively easy and fast, yeah. Better VR optimization. That's going to be interesting. They haven't mentioned anything about their VR. Is there any changes to VR? State saving per livery. For example, if I flew XYZ, my plane state should stay the same. I don't think you're going to get that with the default aircraft. You get that now with some of the third-party ones. More live ground ops without driving into your aircraft. So yeah, a bit more logic required. Turbulence. They didn't say if they're going to add better turbulence. Graphic options, again, they reckon by having more data being processed on the cloud, it's going to take a lot of pressure off your local machine. That could be just deadly, right? Again, multiplayer support, mainstream controllers mapped so that they're plug and play. That will be great. They are adding controller support a lot, but yeah, it seems to be a little bit slow. What else do we have? We had a few more. An error report that tells you what error, like an add-on that's causing the issue, and not a code number. So they kind of do have a crash report, but I agree. I would love to see, this add-on broke your sim. Perfect. Or, you know, this file of your core sim is bugged. It broke the sim. Like, we need to be told these things. Do you know what I mean? If you download an aircraft or a scenery and it breaks your sim, just tell us when it crashes, that's what caused it. We'll get it out of there and we'll go back to the third party and say, hey man, listen, your yoke broke my thing. Can you do a thing? Right? Community elements, selective multiplayer, so a group could fly with a group. Again, they haven't discussed anything about multiplayer. They've said nothing about ATC. A better VR4 map. Yeah, I think the VR4 map in the sim is pants. It's not great at all. In-browser market access, maybe. What else do we have here? Lock down a stable version and only stream the environment via the net rather than relying on betas and patches. So they kind of did that, like, but yeah, it's having. So they figured out you can have betas. You can have beta pilots operate on the beta server only, and that's why we can't see them in multiplayer. And that seems to be the better way to go. At least now that we're separate, you know. Ability to hot start from a parking spot or relocate in the air at a specific altitude with a flight plan. You can kind of do that. More livery-friendly default aircraft without 7 LOD files. That's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. When you're looking at third-party add-ons and for aircraft liveries, the current sim uses an LOD, right? Which is all to do with, like, what's it? Length of distance and all this, or load of distance. Something like that. Basically, the further you are away from the aircraft, well then it should transition from high resolution to no resolution, depending on your distance, yeah? But some aircraft has multiple liveries that developers have to go off and create a livery for each of the LOD settings. It's a huge headache. There should be either a simple button, click it, and then, you know, the SDK automatically does it, or, well, yeah, the SDK should just automatically do it. Level of detail. Thank you. Drop down selection for control choices. Profiles. Proper profiles that would maybe save your control configuration to an aircraft by default. When you select the Airbus A320, the sim will detect your old profile using that aircraft and it'll now apply that profile to your flight. You don't need to worry about changing buttons around. It does it automatically. I would love that. SPAD and X profiles can, of course, do that. They absolutely can do that. But it'd be nice to have it in the sim. I think that'd be handy, you know? So, lads, looking at this list here, which goes back, this goes back, you know, 3 months ago. What are your thoughts? Is there anything you've seen in the trailers that you're more than happy with? Or is there anything you've seen in the trailers that's it's leaving you want more? You want more. Like, it's in terms of information, we got to wait until we're at Flight Sim Expo. Jorgen and Seb are going to have an announcement. They're going to talk about some stuff. And I'm going to use X-Plane 12 here as the benchmark. When you go from X-Plane 10 to 11 or 11 to 12, add-ons are still compatible for the most part, but there's a glaring difference. That's the worry I think a lot of community members and third-party developers have. Will the stuff work in the new sim? Microsoft are saying, yeah, pretty much everything's going to work. All right, but they mightn't be able to take advantage of all the new features, right? Okay, so if they can't take advantage of all the new features, they'll still work. And that should be enough. That should be enough, right? Now, let's do a bit of messing here, because I want to show you a new helicopter and X-Plane, and that's the last bit we're going to do. When it comes to third-party developers, the aircraft, again, there seems to be an awful lot of focus put on all the aircraft. I mean, the A400, the Airbus A330, there's no talk of Boeing yet. Like, we're getting all these aircraft. And this time round, it's the third-party developers making these aircraft. Are they going to be dumbed down, or are they going for a way higher standard? Don't forget, like the Cessna 172 default, you can't even open the friggin' doors in it. Now you might say, well, where does that come into realism? Well, do you know what I mean? You can't open the doors. It's a hollow kind of an airplane. It's very hard to be attached to it. Do you know? I suspect aircraft will carry over, but some scenery might be affected. Yeah. Still want a decent replay system. Yep. Godfriend says, all I know is that I'll be a few drinks in for any presentation, so I'll be cheering regardless. Godfriends, yes. Yes. Vegas, man. We'll be locked. Ah, this devil's great plane. All right, it'd be grand. Gibbo says, big question for devs is, do things need to be ported over to work out of the box, and or are updates needed to take advantage of the Flight Sim 24 features? If I were to compare that to X-Plane, the stuff will work, but features are missing. It doesn't look right. It works so far as, yeah, the aircraft, you can, you know, it'll do most of the stuff, but it's not behaving right. If they change the flight dynamics, okay, we know in Microsoft Flight Sim, we can jump this back into like legacy mode. You can change the flight model to legacy mode or modern mode. We can do this already. So I suspect that'll be the case if you're flying in PMDG 737 that you bought on Flight Sim 2020, and now you want to fly that inside Flight Sim 2024, you just adjust the file and hopefully it'll do the rest. It'll do the rest. But maybe that aircraft, like for example, at your scenery, they're talking about tessellation with like things moving on the ground, and you know, maybe you want to use that aircraft in a mission, in a brand new mission. Maybe that's where the limitations are going to come in. Oh, sorry, you got a Flight Sim 2020 aircraft. That's not going to work if you're doing this scientific research mission. You'll have to use something else. I think that's what's going to happen. That's what happens on X-Plane. It's another sim, but it does the same thing, right? That's what happens. Eye candy is sweet, but tell me, does it use multi-core? Well, I don't understand when people say Flight Simulator doesn't use multi-core. It is a multi-core simulator. It's using multiple cores. You look at it. It's using multiple cores. Now, what it tends to do, it seems to kind of bulk out one single core, as in a high clock speed. It likes that, but it does push other stuff out onto other cores. It is a multi-core sim. To what level though, or what performance we would rather? We want all cores running at equal levels, as opposed to, you know, one or two peak, and then the rest of them are just kind of dossing. But it is definitely using multi-cores. Do you know?
Are you seriously trying to call pushback for a helicopter?
Are you seriously trying to call a pushback for a helicopter? Yes, I am. Like, just to show us here briefly, now I know I'm an X-Plane, but you'll get the idea here now in a second, right? The trees, lads. These are the sort of trees that you're going to see in Microsoft Flight Sim. It has to load. Let me see. Julius, thank you very much indeed. Julius Cornelius, great name. Thank you for the follow. This is the sort of crack you're going to see with trees.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? As in, you know, they're 3D. You know what I'm saying? That's the crack you're going to see in the sim, which is very welcome, because when you see them here in X-Plane, the trees, well, they look very, very good. You know what I mean? They look very, very good. So I don't know, like, you'll find out. We'll definitely find out more, you know, when we get down to Vegas and Jorg and Seb take to the floor on Saturday. We hope we're going to get a little bit more information there. There's no doubt about it though, and you know, maybe I'm just being overly optimistic and over positive, but like 5 years ago when they announced Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Sim, like it changed the flight simulation industry. It changed the whole thing, right? And we've all become so attached to it, so passionate about it, and we worry, you know, why are they doing it that way? This doesn't seem like a good idea. And we've learned over the last 4 years the headaches, the absolute headaches when it comes to, why does it take so long to load? Why am I getting CTDs? Why are the multiplayer aircraft disappearing? Why is the aircraft not doing what it's supposed to do? Why is the weather not right? Why is, like, all of these things? Is Flight Simulator 2024 designed to fix all those things? I don't think so. Sure, they're going to address what they can where they can, but I'd say they're going to try now with Flight Sim 2020 get more of these issues fixed. They've already let the cat out of the bag. They said they're going to have a Sim Update 16, and that's to get the new game development kit in. Then you have the whole conversation. I think the console version of the sim, particularly on Xbox Series S, is stopping the progress of everything else. What are they going to do there? If I was in charge, I would have Flight Sim 2020 is for the console. Flight Sim 24 is on the PC. End of discussion. That's how she is, lads. That's the way it should be. Because you're impeding the flight simulation enthusiast, if you like, from getting the features that they want on the higher end systems. And when you try and cater to them, well, you know, you're upsetting the Xbox pilots because the machines cannot run. They don't have the same headroom. You know what I mean? And you could open up a brand new ecosystem. You would have developers who will only develop for the console, i.e. the more arcade perhaps, or the less study level features. Right? They now have a market, and they're not annoying us when we see, look at the state of this, you know, the 737 MAX from that other crowd. What? They don't want that in the sim. Captain Sim stuff? What? We don't want that in the sim. M scenery? We don't want that. Yes, there's a place for it, but it shouldn't be on the higher level. It shouldn't be on, you know, the most complex simulator in terms of the graphics, the technology, and all that jazz. We should have a choice. If it was on the Xbox, well, it makes sense. If people want to transition from Xbox, they go that route via cloud gaming and then onto PC. It's an entire different ecosystem. And that's not going to change anytime soon. Look at the hardware options. Look at the software options that you have on your PC. Not to mention the elephant in the room being VATSIM. That doesn't exist on Xbox at all. Now, we have geniuses in our midst. We have proper geniuses in our midst who can make a way to get Xbox pilots involved inside a multiplayer experience with ATC. That was staggering. It was staggering, right? But like, why not just have two variants of the sim? Laminar do it. X-Plane 12 is PC. X-Plane Mobile is X-Plane 11.
Hello there.
And it works. It works. I could be on X-Plane 11 on mobile and fly with someone on X-Plane 12. Now, granted, X-Plane's multiplayer is a what? But it's not designed for that. It's not designed for that sort of entertainment, maybe, or experience. Do you know what I mean? But it's still, beyond all of the frustrations and the worries and the things that we want, I gotta say this. We are still very much in the golden age of flight simulation because we have hardware, software, new simulators, updates. I've never seen anything like it. We've these expos, we've all these communities. It's massive. The thing is just gone massive, and it's very global. Therefore, I think, you know, with Microsoft and Asobo, with the new Flight Simulator 2024, I'm optimistic and hopeful that we're still going to have the beloved simulator that we have today with a few extra features. And then let's see about, you know, can they make it better, faster, you know, quicker, more stable, all that sort of jazz. That's what I think. That's what I hope. That's what I want. Will we get that? November 19th. That's when we find out, lads. But yeah, it's mad. It's going to be, no matter what way we think or say, we all love flight simulation. Some people have their favorite simulators. Some people have their least favorite simulators. It doesn't matter. The Flight Sim 2024, we're going to get, well, you're getting the continued commitment from Microsoft to give us the thing in the first place, right? But we're seeing what the next iteration can do. And I put up a post the other day. I was talking about FSX, and when the acceleration pack came out, Flight Sim 2024 to me is exactly what acceleration did for Flight Sim X. It's the very same. It's the very same. Better rendering, faster loading, multiplayer missions, single player missions. It's the very same, right? New aircraft, all that sort of jazz. So yeah, Colonel Fork missed the start. Can we go back? And now, just for Colonel Fork, we'll go back to the beginning.
Hello there.
Stand by.
Oh, jeez.
But like, imagine if I did go back and start the whole thing off again. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? It'd be brilliant. Gibbo says, I think the part of negativity comes from Microsoft Flight Sim will be supported for 10 years at least. Folks didn't expect a brand new release and currently are unsure that means you're starting over again. Well, they said they're going to... Microsoft's commitment to the flight simulator genre, they said they're going to stick by it for 10 years. And yes, they didn't say we're going to stick by one. They didn't say, they didn't say we're not going to update it or upgrade it. When Bill Gates was at Microsoft, there was always a flight simulator. The second Bill Gates left, they shut down Microsoft Game Studios when he left. It's only now it's coming back. So they're, we'll have a flight sim. It's Microsoft. They're like, I would expect an update every 4 years. Think about it. We Flight Sim 95, we Flight Sim 98, we Flight Sim 2000, we Flight Sim 2002, 2004, and we had Flight Sim X. Then we had Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2, and then we had Acceleration. Then it stopped. Then we got P3D and all the mess that brought. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. There's not enough change in how kind of the corporate end operates. Like, how else are they going to get money? Should they call it Flight Sim 2024? Listen, I just call a flight simulator, and then, like, call this one Expansion 1, or Acceleration 1, or the 2024 pack. I don't know what you call it. But it's a business. They're in business to make money. They're not in business to do anything else. Their primary objective, make money. Nothing else. So they have very passionate people working with them. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Soba have very passionate people working with them. There's no question about any of that. But they're in the game to make money. They're businesses. They got to make money. If they don't make money, they don't operate. They don't operate, well, we'd be playing other things and flying other things. Yeah, Microsoft Flight was an absolute disaster. Anyway, let us remain... Well, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I'm telling you where I'm at. I'm very optimistic. And I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. We have another flight sim coming. I want to discover it. I want to see what it's all about. I want to know what it can and what it can't do. I want to moan about what doesn't work. And I want to say, look at the state of that, what does work. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen in November. And I want to see as well what sort of a electrical charge this is going to bolt onto the third-party developers. Because if they are getting more freedom and a better SDK, we benefit hugely from that, because we will start seeing features we didn't even think possible at all. You know what I mean? So it's terribly exciting. Do you know? I say you can't mention that, Colonel Fork. That was a secret let out of the bag by someone. So shh, for the moment. Anyway, friends, welcome to X-Plane. We're going to do this for a few minutes because I came across a new helicopter that was one of my very first bits of content I ever put out on the internet. Would you believe it? Right? I kid you not. I'm that fella. So I want to show you this now. We're in the X-Rotors AW139, right? And I need to show you this because it's one of my oldest. If we go back here now, 5 years ago, it has 23,000 views. 5 years ago, there's a Muppet talking, right?
The modelling has been updated. It's, according to the developer, 99% of the aircraft has been updated.
Listen.
It does look stunning. The aircraft itself, I have a high interest in it, only because these aircraft, they're operated here in Ireland with the Irish Air Corps, in which they have the M variant of them for military use. So the modelling, texture, PBR, all that good stuff is working well.
The other fella sounds more Irish. What? So look at that. 5 years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
And here they are now with the latest and greatest version for X-Plane. So, the AW139. It's on version 5, a major long-awaited overhaul of the classic helicopter from X-Rotors. And it is the result of introducing a new Blender-based workflow for modelling animations, along with tons of improvements, such as the long-awaited new Epic Primus Phase 7, which is a guarantee a pleasant, involving simulation experience. The product comes with its own installer for Windows, and away it goes. Now, some of the features, let's have a look. Some of the... Did you hear those sound effects? The features. New model, new cabin. Has this new Primus Phase 7 replica in an XGA resolution with a functional PFD and MFD. 4-axis flight director. New textures and liveries, custom beacon, new functional audio panel, new winch, wire cutters, cosmetic screens for the FMS, overhauled flight model, and all the jazz, right? And all the jazz. So, the X-Rotors AW139. X-Rotors, there's a bit of history about these guys. I won't get into it, but 5 years ago, they released version 4. And it was the first helicopter I spent time on in any flight simulator, because prior to that, they were all, you know, death traps. They were crap, right? Was I on a phone? It was bad, wasn't it? I learned how to fly this chopper and I enjoyed it an awful lot. And it was the first thing I started streaming, right? So put on my rotor brake because the thing is making noises. And we tell you once to turn off. Hang on. Up. So just move that forward. Why isn't that working? Hang on now. Leave those off. Rotor brake is on. Battery. Jesus, the rotor brake isn't working, isn't it? Okay, let's not worry about that for the moment. It's totally sound. So, we're looking at the chopper here, right? I'm getting a weird sound. But anyway, let's check it out. Now, the scenery and all the world we're looking at, this is all from... this is all Orbex and their True Earth stuff, all right? So here you have the chopper. It's a beautiful helicopter, the AW139. The Irish Air Corps operate these. They're very popular with Bristow, amongst other operators as well. Visually, you can add stuff in like the winch. It's a beautiful model of this aircraft, and it has been completely rebuilt. And helicopter flying an X-plane, it can be a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun, right? So, we're going to take this out for a quick flight and just show you around the area and see what it can and what it can't do. All right. So anyone who's interested in heli flying, again, it's looking at X-plane, and like even looking at this scene, X-plane doesn't have what Microsoft has in terms of the visuals, but like they have trains. Like they have trains. To be fair now, like they've trains in the, you know what I'm saying? So there's silver lining and all that sort of jazz. So let's hop in here and get the thing started up. Now, do I remember how to fly this? Not really. Right, that stays down. So we'll go up on top here. And we're going to get some anti-collision lights on. Battery's already on. Get our lights on here. Put these guys into flight mode. Thank you. Gens, stick them on there as well. External power, leave them off. And we're going to come down here. We're going to turn on our fuel tanks and our pumps. And we'll go for a start here on the engines. Good sounds in this. The UK use them in the Coast Guard? Nice.
Rotor low. Rotor low. Rotor high. Rotor high.
Okay. So that'll all stabilize, calm the jets down here now a little bit. And just showing you some of the options. So you have this click spot back here. This is where you can get your floats, your winch, wire cutter if you want it, and your filters thrown on here as well. So they're just click of a button. Looking around the aircraft itself in terms of its night lighting, it's impressive. So let's bring down the night lighting just to show you how it all lights up here at night. Give it a few seconds to load in. There we go. So the night lighting, it's pleasant. You have this kind of a master switch down here. We can also turn on some dome lights. That'll make things either up or down. So your cabin lighting is on, and you can get your night vision off. Here's your dome light, and you can bring up your instruments and all this jazz as well, which is grand. It's all pretty. Or we can put on our night vision as well, which looks nicer. In terms of our lighting is on. What else do we need here now? All the lights are on there. That's all good there. Yeah, lights are good. Lights are good. Can you change the ND display to a map? The ND display to a map? Yes, you can. So you have your two screens here. So we can go left-hand side, and we can change this now. Let's go over, and we can select map. So here's your map, right? Or you can go into your flight plan and look at your flight plan. You can go in and have a look at your systems, and you can select your different systems, which is a lot of stuff going on here, lads. It's very, very good. This is a brand new. It's a brand new system for the chopper, and I like it. Like if you want to go in and have a look at the hydraulics, for example, it'll show you all that page. So you're getting a fairly good simulation here of the systems. All right. So we'll put it onto map, I suppose, and select that. Enter. So there's our map. And nighttime lighting in X-Plane. It's still absolutely freaking stunning. Like, it's just gorgeous, right? It just is. Very, very pretty. The X-Trident is very good as well. The 109, very, very good. Beautiful. So we'll get the lighting up here a little bit. Just, that looks kind of nice. And we'll fly over that direction to see what we can see. Alright? So, make sure everything's set up here. Off the brake. Roll her forward a little bit. Easy does it now. And again, flying choppers in X-Plane, it's, well, it's always fun, right? Alright, bit of collective coming in. Kicking up some dust. Yep, see daisy. Okay.
Hello there.
Hello there. Captain Steve's welcome in. Okay, altitude is coming up. Let's get that gear in. We'll probably get a little alarm here. Oh, we're looking good. And let's just head up the coast here a little bit. I'm down at Shoreham, so we'll head out towards Brighton Pier. Now this chopper is fast. It can really move. You're talking 150 knots easily. So this is Orbex True Earth, and it's stunning. Let's check it out. So the plan here, can we put the machine down on an aircraft carrier? Well, sure, why not? We'll give it an out blast to see what happens, right? So our airspeed is a little bit high. We can follow the carrier by its own wake. Carriers are just included in X-Plane. They just appear. That was weird, getting all sorts of weird textures there. See that? Right, let's see what we can do here. Can I actually land the gadget? It's a solid helicopter, and the fact now that it's been updated for X-Plane 12, I highly recommend this thing. And it is not the most difficult to fly. I learned how to fly choppers in any simulator. I learned them here with this helicopter in X-Plane. Really did enjoy it. As I said, the scenery that we're looking at, it's powered by Orbex. It's their True Earth, Great Britain South. You can pick that up to buy it. I think it's about 40 bucks, I think. If you had it on X-Plane 11, it's like $5 to upgrade to X-Plane 12. We're going to try and land on this moving object. I don't make liveries, but if I did, I'd make one for this. We need an Air Corps livery for this for sure. But you got to be careful because the carrier wants to turn as well, right? There's a massive aircraft carrier heading towards it, right? It's deadly. We'll see can we touch down on the carrier that is moving, but we'll see how we go, right? Now, they have other vessels as well. It doesn't have to be an aircraft carrier. They have something Perry cruiser, I think. Don't hit the control tower, Murph. That would be bad. How cool looking is that?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus is right. Now, can I put the thing down without dying? Let's find out, friends.
150 feet.
All right, you're all right, you're all right, you're all right. You're all right. You're not all right, you're not all right. Leave your hand, say nothing. I really need Toby Eye on for this. Jesus. We're going backwards, Murph. Easy, easy, easy. Right, there's an F-18. Don't land on him.
Sleepy,
ah,
naughty,
Jesus!
snoozy,
Who did that? Who did that? Hummingbird, you devil. Right, easy now. Put her down gently, Murph. Do you hear those sounds? They're probably saying, who's this Egypt coming in? Right, easy.
Dougal, have you been
Easy.
drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad Egypt.
Oh, jeez. Right.
Oh, Jesus.
So we've landed on the deck of a carrier, and doesn't it look absolutely deadly? Where's this now? Hang on now, we'll make this look very fancy. We can do things like that. Pick your focus point. Look at the state.
Oh, Jesus.
Isn't that mad looking? It's just cool, lads. It's just cool. So the AW139 over in the world of X-Plane.
Can I get a refund?
It's very, very good. Who wants a refund? It was brilliant. We landed and no one died. And we're here at Brighton as well. So, like, again, you want to look at the proper night lighting? Let's look at proper night lighting. Put the sun down here a bit. Right. Let's check out the night lighting here, right? Great sounds. Yeah, they're very good, aren't they? The AW139. Right.
Hey, good morning.
You're up and at them. Easy. Easy. Like, look at the cars. Look at the lights of the cars moving on that scenery. Look at the reflections you're getting off the coastline. Like, isn't that unbelievably nice? Look at that. Get my mug out of the shot. Really hear the rotor slap? Isn't that something? With a carrier in the background? It's just stunning. What do we think? Isn't it pretty? So the AW139 in X-Plane 12, that's Orbex powering the scenery. It's I'm telling you, it's always it's just right. There's always fun to be had. But right, let's see, can we put the thing down now? Land in the field or something, Murphy. It'll be grand. Yes, it'll be grand, totally grand. Pop down the gear. We'll land here beside the motorway. Sure, why not? Why not? Just don't die. Spin it around. Look at how the cars look. Easy, easy, easy. Easy. Jeez. Look at the rotor animation. It's absolutely class. Easy. There's a Tesco. Every little helps. Easy, easy. Right. Jesus, we're down. What do you think? It's
Captain,
nice.
How soon can you land?
I can't tell.
You can tell me, I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
Brilliant. So yeah, friends, X-Plane 12 with the AW139. If you're a heli pilot and you like, look at the details, look at the engines, look at the state, look at the heat. Like, you'd actually, like, look at the detail they put into this. Isn't that nuts? If you're into your heli flying, I highly recommend the 139 in X-Plane. It's excellent. It's a lot of fun. X-Rotors have done a top-notch job, and as I said, if you know, you combine this with the likes of Orbex and their sceneries and what they can do, very, very, very nice. And then you have that aircraft carrier out there having the crack as well, you know? But yeah, the night lighting, isn't it something else? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, would you get out of town there now? Looking at all the buildings and the cars and all the stuff. It's just class, you know? And you do get the sound effects in that, you know? They do good ambient sounds. Hi, Scotsman. Good to see you, man. So, lads, that's kind of the stab of it now for tonight. I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed for tuning in. I hope you found tonight's stream enjoyable, an eye-opener, and yeah, I mean, the FlightSim 2024 stuff, I can't wait to hear more, lads. You know, as much information as I can possibly get when we're over at FlightSim Expo. You know, it's going to be awesome. So I want to thank everyone so much. Gibbo, you were an absolute savage help for tonight. And I'll put back up your little logo now, because Gibbo was right about the release date for Microsoft Flight Sim. But he also gave me a ton of stuff there to show off tonight as well. So fair dues to you, Gibbo. And thank you very much indeed. A shout out, of course, to, well, all you guys who rambled in and spent your time with me. And thank you very much indeed to all the folks who rated and followed and hit the little like button on YouTube. Thank you very much again. These are absolutely brilliant. So tomorrow night, lads, we continue. We will have a VATSIM flight, and then on Friday night we're going to be taking the Kit Fox out for an L Ramble in Idaho for a bush flight, and looking forward to that. And then the schedule for next week, we'll be live on Monday and Tuesday, and then we're Vegas bound. But I'll be keeping you up to date with what's happening over at Vegas. Look at the lighting, isn't it just savage, isn't it? So with that said, thank you all so very much indeed. Thanks for tuning in, and we shall see you the next time. Good luck to you. Murphbot.
Hey, good buddy.
Southeast Asia, he says. Is there anything else I can help with? Do you know the way to Amarillo? Message. What happens if I put in Egypt? Egypt. You have ended the chat. That's very appropriate. I love it. Gibbo, you're absolutely brilliant. So there's now a very quick way. And the mics are all live, right? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go!